Thank you, Dusky. Good morning, Bianca. How's it going? Why isn't this account connecting? It doesn't. It's designed to keep the heat off the Epstein files. Really? Let's just say this war wasn't going on. Who? I don't understand the obsession with it's all released, all terrible people. I don't know what else you guys want. Trump says he was never on Epstein Island. The people that have looked at the Epstein files says he wasn't on Epstein Island. I just don't get it. It not all released. Okay, so right, Michelle, that's ideal, but reality is nobody in the states is getting arrested. That just seems to be reality. It is unfortunate, but reality is nobody is being held accountable except for what's her face, that Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever the fuck her name is. And as much as that's horrendous, that's reality. So what I don't get is why the obsession, right? Let's just say Trump did horrendous things. Trump is never going to run for office again. Little Dave, bruised ego. What up, little Raider? How's it going, Babash? But once again, Trump is never running for office. Now, the one place where I would focus on, let's say, a Republican or a Democrat that is young and ready to run for president, I think it would be. I think that would make sense to focus on it. But let's face it, Trump is old, Clinton is old. I just don't get the obsession. You mean you guys have nothing better to do than search through fucking 5 million or 10 million or whatever the number is documents? Literally nothing better to do? All right. It doesn't make sense. Hi, Mamacita. How are you? It's what? What time is it? It is 4 a.m. on the East Coast here in the States. And thank you, Renee. The CNN News started their live coverage from, I think, the previous hour. It was a recording of Aaron Burnett's show. But what they led with was damage in Tel Aviv, right? So, to be honest, they didn't really show much. So I don't know how much damage was done. But the question is if you're in Tel Aviv or Israel and they're connecting at least sometimes, right? Not all the time. They're connecting, let's just say it's 5% to make it easy. Why is it that the majority of people in Israel are fighting me tooth and nail for this war to go on? It does not make sense to me. And you could say, well, Dave, you're ignorant. You don't live in the Middle East. Yeah, sure. But not again. I've never asked this question. What are you talking about? I've never really asked this question directly. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, and the answer could be, well, Dave, if we don't fix the regime now, we're going to have the same problem in 5 years. But the crazy thing is, you could still have this problem 5 years from now. If Trump follows through with a full on regime change, and then they hold elections and somebody just as bad, if not worse, is elected, right? And that's possible. No. No, Bianca, I did not. Who the fuck cares? What's she saying? Who the fuck cares? It's an idea. You can't kill an idea. What the fuck are you talking about? So the question that I don't get is why are people from Israel fighting me tooth and nail and don't want this to end? You people voted for this dude, and you're mad. Where did that go? I mean, all right, let's kick it off. Kanish, the instant mute. Well
What's
played.
up, brother? What's happening, Dave?
How are you?
Good, brother. Good. Very good.
What brings you up?
Look, I want to get into the conversation. In fact, your panel looks a little light. We should get MAGAs up here so we can debate them because Trump is a fucking disaster. I'm from New York
But
City. I'm 50. I voted for Harris, and I am an independent.
I
Okay.
know Kanish, but I remember you. You're dumb as a rock.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me why.
One, you're very emotional. I know that has nothing to do with intelligence, but you're very emotional.
No, I'm passionate.
Uh,
There's a difference.
okay, passionate, of course, of course. Number two, the reasons why you support the party that you do makes zero sense to me,
So
right?
you support Trump?
Um,
Is that what you're saying?
that very good. Once again, dumb as a rock. Um, uh, and your reasons for disliking Trump is just you just don't like his personality.
Not really.
And
No. Okay. Let's.
okay, go ahead.
No. I'm just gonna say I'm 50. I live in Brooklyn.
Okay,
I live in
okay.
New
Every
York
time you
State.
say every time you say 50 or Brooklyn, everybody take a fucking shot and let's see who ends up in the hospital first. Go ahead.
No, because it's legitimate. I'm 50 and I live in
All
Brooklyn,
right.
New York City. Born, raised here, still here. Born in Coney Island
Okay.
Hospital. We know here in New York who Trump is. Do you
I
understand?
know. And you told me this the last time you were up here.
Correct. And it doesn't sink
Okay.
in, though.
It does not. No.
No, because who knows you better than your neighbors and people close to you?
Right.
Uh,
Okay. Fair enough. You were never close to Donald Trump,
No,
right?
no, no.
Okay.
But I
Go
was
ahead. Tell me
privy to
more.
local news, local
Okay.
newspapers
Uh,
before he
sure.
was, on the onto the national scene. We know what he is. And here in New York,
Okay.
we're proud. We would love a New Yorker to be president, but he lost the fucking presidential election 3 times in a row. What the fuck do you think that means? We don't want
Okay.
to be responsible for having him as president because we know he's not a good candidate. We know what he is. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, but he's your president.
Yeah,
He
he
he.
is the president right now. You're right.
Right. Okay. Very good. Okay. Good. He owns the Democratic Party. Anybody that voted for Harris, he owns you. Why? Because he's very talented in a lot of different
Oh,
ways.
I can't wait to hear the
But
talent. Go ahead, tell me.
sure, what he does, he has the ability
To be a
to
con
make.
man.
Hold on one second. He has this ability to make dumbass Americans defend men playing in women's sports. Defend open borders, defend more crime. Trump also makes grown ass men come up and laugh the way that you just did.
Great.
So mission
Let's
accomplished.
okay. You made a point.
Okay.
But let's
Uh huh.
let's talk about men's and women's sports, right?
Yeah, but I'm
No,
not
no, no,
talking about
no.
that.
Let's take no.
But I'm not talking about. Okay, Kanish, come back when. Believe me,
Oh,
there's
you're
going
gonna
to be
kick.
plenty of time to talk about Trump and the Democrats. We have plenty of time. What I'm trying to figure out is just a simple question or a simple answer to a simple question. Why is it that if you live, hypothetically, if you live in the state of Israel, every day there is damage done to your country, would you not want the war to end? Just if you don't live in Israel, that hypothetical, think about it. And then why is it that just about everybody from the state of Israel is fighting me tooth and nail on getting this war over with? We good, Dave. Weren't you up here just recently complaining about how you were woken up? I'm quite confused. So why is it that no, I'm not saying that the Iron Dome is not working. I'm not even going down that road. I'm just trying to say at what point is enough enough? Because there are people that live there and are done. It just needs to end on both apps. So is there some kind of number? What would it take for you to say enough is enough? Let's wrap this up. And to me, I think yeah, but right, and that's fair, Randy. But to me, if you can get Trump to get a deal done, and at least for the next 3 years, I agree, no doubt about that. But if you can guarantee the next 3 years of safety, why not take it? I don't understand the mindset with this. All right, first one up, Delight.
Hey Dave.
Hi, Delight. How's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
So
good. So I
what
mean,
what
yeah,
what I want
yes, go
I
ahead.
want I want everybody. I think everybody should be rooting for this to come to a close. And the only reason this popped up now is because when 4 a.m. CNN started,
Mm,
they were talking about damage in Tel Aviv.
mm,
And if I'm there,
mm-hmm.
I understand that it's a constant threat. Okay. I'm not there. So let me acknowledge that first. I'm ignorant.
I'm gonna move my bird. Yeah.
That's fine. But why is it that a lot of people that live there are essentially begging for more?
No, well, I don't think anyone's
Where
begging for more. We're just not going to
they
back.
want the war to there's not many, let's face it, the majority of people that live in Israel,
As
they
myself.
want this war. No. What I'm saying is I can't speak for everybody. I'm just talking about the people that frequent here. They want the war to continue.
Yeah.
So
Who's
why does
begging?
it
Wait. Who's begging though? Who's begging for the war to end from here?
no, I don't think anybody's begging. Maybe begging was the wrong word. I think there are people that have said that it should end. I'm sure
Well,
in throughout the country there are people saying that. No,
well, I mean, clearly nobody wants war anywhere, I don't think. If you're, rational headed and have like a moral compass, you don't want war. War isn't good for, other than like people that are making money off of it. War isn't good, clearly.
right?
But at the same time, this isn't new to us, Dave. This isn't our first rodeo. This isn't our first war. This isn't our first mission or conflict or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But we're also
But
this time.
why
Wait,
not root for just I just want you to
mm,
you're stating the obvious, right? It's not
okay.
the first one, it's probably not the last one.
All
What
right.
I'm looking for is why not root for a pause on it?
Because a
That's what I
pause,
don't get.
because we're used to these pauses where they
Hmm.
arm themselves, if you want to use that word, again, right?
Sure.
So this is just, repeat, pause, repeat, pause, repeat.
But they could still arm themselves again.
Absolutely.
So
But it's not about a pause and then we'll start it over again in another year or two or three. You you want to wipe everything from like down to zil, down to nothing.
yeah, but that I think it's pretty evident that the down to nothing, now down to a much smaller number, yes, but down to nothing, I don't even think that's possible.
I agree with
And
you, but at the same
okay,
time, again, you push them down to their knees so low where
hmm,
the rebuilding is going to take a lot longer than it would for as opposed to a pause.
sure. So let's just say it goes on another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever number you want to use, does not matter for this scenario. Why not just root that Trump and Bibi bring them to their knees?
Which they're
You
doing.
know, sure, and I agree. And why not root for just a quick resolution and end this for now? Is it over
Okay.
forever? Probably not. Go
So
ahead.
so isn't that what happened in June? And it took six
Uh,
months?
okay,
Right.
but their response would be, in the 6 months, we really didn't do much.
So we don't want to give them 6 months. First of all, we want to wipe
Okay,
let's like be real here. We would like to have the regime completely taken out, have a new government, not a regime,
hmm,
you know, not a supreme
but
leader that they like to call.
that's the crazy part of this whole thought process is, let's even give it to you. Let's just say the Shah comes into town, right? And they hold elections 8 months from now. There's a good chance that, not a good chance, there's a chance, I don't know what the percentage chance is, but there's a chance they elect somebody just as bad, if not worse.
I don't think so. They've seen worse. They've
Uh,
seen bad. They've seen unaliving.
sure,
They've seen their children die in front of their faces. I don't think they
I
want that,
understand.
right?
I understand. But you do acknowledge that there is, at the very least, a small chance that they put somebody back in charge that is just as bad, if not worse.
I don't think that they're going to repeat the destruction and the unaliving
Sure.
once again. I think that
And after January 6th,
they're
okay.
realizing the once in a lifetime opportunity that they're getting now. Okay.
Who's realizing it?
I think the people that do want the regime change and do want to overthrow and do want a democracy and do want a better future are realizing that America and Israel fighting together and doing what they're doing is a once
I'm
in
going to be
a,
honest with you.
yeah.
I think reality is people in Israel want this more than the people in Iran. That's reality.
Well, I think maybe
And I
also,
get why. I
okay,
get why.
what do you get?
Okay.
What's the why for you?
That this regime has done a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
They hate the state of Israel. And
And
I can
America.
see,
And America.
sure,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not a threat to America, right?
Well,
And if we
hmm.
want to go down, we could just, we'll
I
save
know
the
you
fear
like to, yeah,
mongering for the end.
one person's fear
Okay.
mongering is another. I said this to you yesterday. Well, at least I wrote it in the comments.
No, go ahead.
One man's fear
Wait, let me write it.
mongering. Yeah,
Hold on.
write it
Let me get
down.
my
Get
pen.
your
Let me
pen
get
and
my pen.
paper. Maybe it should
One
also be a
man's fear
T-shirt.
mongering.
Is
Okay,
another
go ahead.
is another man's reality.
Did you get that on like a popsicle
No,
stick
I
or a
actually
fortune
just it just
cookie?
came to me. I don't know, Dave. I have these like whimsical moments.
Wow. What? Quite the wordsmith here. Okay, fair
I-
enough. Okay, so
No, but you call it
okay,
fear
so
mongering, and I heard you
okay.
throw that word a lot yesterday. And it kind of like, I think that because that you are quote unquote far away, and this is not right
Hmm.
under your nose or right under close enough to feel that you can get hit by it. I don't know, no pun intended, but um,
Hmm.
that you use the fear mongering. But if you really want to peel the layers of who this regime is and what they're capable and what they've done in the past, for that matter, to Americans, then you will realize that they're inside. They've been
Okay,
inside.
so just hear me out with this thought process that I was having as I was watching CNN talk about the damage in Tel Aviv, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I live in Tel Aviv,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can recognize that 3 months from now, the current regime could be in charge, right? You agree there?
I can't
It's
argue it.
possible.
It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge that maybe a year from now, the current regime or somebody else just as bad could still be in charge. That's reality, right? I can acknowledge that 5 years from now, there could be somebody just as bad, if not worse, running that country. So
Mm-hmm. But
hold on one second.
mm-hmm.
Why would I cheer for this to not cheer for it? Why would I want this to go on any longer knowing that the end result is the same? It's kind of like
Well, at the same
and
time,
the
you can say the
go
same
ahead.
for this
Sure.
person that they want to put in that seat, which nobody exactly is jumping for joy to take it because they know that their days are limited. It's about uh,
Okay.
your
No,
wife.
please don't focus on who might be in charge.
No, I'm
Just
not.
focus
I'm
on the
focusing on
oh,
the fact that the
okay.
people, the generals, the higher ups, if you want to call them that, are realizing that being in that seat, as much as they would like to, take that throne or take that, you know, um, that title, all right, their days are going to be limited and
Yes,
numbered.
but that's not
And
the
as
you're right. I mean, you're right, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking
but
about.
we're weakening
Just
them from the inside. That's what's
sure.
happening. That
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying that.
but there's just so many also other
But
factions too.
you just think about this. You're getting to me, and
Hmm.
if there's numbers or something that can prove me wrong, to me, the last 96 hours, I've seen more damage in the state of Israel than I have, say, the first 19 days of this war plus the 12-day war. That's 31
Hmm.
days.
Hmm.
So it's not, so you're pitching to me, you're saying to me, we are weakening them,
Hmm.
but yet the damage is getting worse. That's where it doesn't make sense to me.
Because if they're already feeling that they're on their last leg, aren't they damned if they do and damned if they don't? So they might as well.
Okay.
right?
I don't get how that's a appropriate
Because
response to
they
what I'm saying.
feel they're feeling the chokehold. They're feeling it
Okay.
not only from Trump and what's happening obviously inside of Iran. Okay, they're
Uh-huh.
feeling the chokehold also with the Strait of Hormuz. They're feeling the chokehold from the other Arab countries, meaning Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi, UAE. I mean, they're like, all right, well, we might as well go down with the fight, right?
Okay, so
And I just want to make it very clear, the fact that you're seeing
sure.
damage is very unfortunate because they're clearly using cluster bombs. They're clearly
Of course.
targeting
Yes,
civilian
you're right.
homes and areas,
Yes.
like just
Yes.
blindly, like just shoot them now, like it's like fucking 4th of July.
And please don't take this as if I'm celebrating that or in support of these assholes. No, not at all. I'm trying to understand the mindset on why it would make sense that if I was sitting in Tel Aviv or somewhere else throughout the state of Israel, would I really be rooting for this to go? There's no way in hell
Because
I
you
would.
don't hear, when you've talked
Okay.
to many Israelis, as myself and other ones that are here in Israel, you don't hear a fear factor in my voice. I just had a siren, what, I want to say, what time is it now? 10:30? About 2.5, 3 hours ago, I had one.
And I'm not
I'm
saying
not,
you
but
should.
I'm
I'm
not,
not saying you
so,
do.
so that's why we're not, we don't want to get this over until we know that we're going to have peace and quiet for at least a decade.
But there's no
If the
guarantee.
regime, if
Okay,
that
no problem.
regime stays in power, God forbid, I hope not, but
There's no
there's
guarantee
no
of that.
guarantee. I don't know. We do not,
Okay,
not you, not I can see the future. Absolutely not. But at the
okay.
same time,
So,
we're going to do whatever we can right now to chokehold them. And that's exactly what we're doing.
but you're quote unquote choke holding them, but there's more damage in the state of Israel over the last
So
96
what?
hours than there were.
What is, I
What do you
mean,
mean, so
what,
what?
what, what do
What
you,
do you mean, so
what do you mean the
what?
damage of what? A car that like got hit and, is crushed? Oh, yes, there has been
Dee,
unaliving.
why are
Wait
you
a
doing
second.
this? Why are
No,
you
I'm
doing
not
this?
doing this, but
Why are you doing
you're,
that?
you're like pinpointing this thing that like in the past 24 hours, 48 hours, I've seen so much damage in Tel Aviv or in Israel, wherever, I don't know
There
what you
was
saw.
one shot where 70 people were hurt.
Absolutely, and that's horrific and horrible. But at the same time, thank God that we have a military, an air force, and shelters that our government takes every precaution and every measure to not only blast these missiles out of the sky, but putting the civilians here in shelters. And yes, don't get me wrong, I'm not
Right.
downplaying or God forbid laughing at anyone that's been unalived. It's horrific and horrible. But at the same time, we know what we're doing. We're not going to stop this time. We've taken notes since October 7th, you better believe, and take notes
But
of the
they're not stopping either.
good. So let's get it on.
Oh my God. Uh,
Dave, it's a different
uh,
mindset. It's a different,
it is,
I'm
but
sorry.
I'm just, and that's fine. I respect that. Okay. I respect that. I'm just trying to think like the closest analogy I could think of is you live in New Jersey or Florida. Okay. Hurricane season comes and you get fucked up by a hurricane. You know down the road there's going to be more hurricanes. But if you have a chance to cut the hurricanes off right now, why would you let them keep coming? Right? You know down the road, next hurricane season is going to come,
And maybe
and
not.
unfortunately,
Maybe we have a way to
what?
slow those
And
hurricanes down.
what?
Again, we're
Yeah.
looking at the glass
Okay.
half full and hoping that there will be some regime change here. Maybe there will be a different future, hopefully sooner than later.
But do you really think that there's a 0% chance that 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now, that this country is not trying to fuck you guys up? Because odds are that's still the case. So why my this is my thought process.
But
Why
Dave,
why
this
one
this
go
trying
ahead.
to fuck us up isn't new to Israel. Isn't new to the
Right.
people here. This is part of our history.
I understand it and I
Okay, so
respect that.
saying those words, trying to fuck you up in the war and missiles and everything. Listen, it's not. It's not like we don't know how to handle ourselves here. We actually learned each time more and more how to be better, how to be stronger, how to fight, do the right fight. And that's part of our
Can,
history. I mean, again, it's something that maybe it's hard for you to like get, and I get it and I respect that, but you should respect,
right.
who we are and our history and where we come from and what we've had to do to, fight for our country.
And just thinking about it, that if I lived in the state of Israel, that I might have that mindset. But if God forbid somebody that I knew or a family member was affected or hurt or whatever, I would at some point think, why did we let this go on? So what happens if we let this go on? Okay, and a year from now, unfortunately, it could still be happening, or 5 years from now. And you could say whether it's they are still in charge or elections happen and they elect somebody that's just as bad. At what point is it really worth it?
It's a great question, but at this
Okay,
I you have to understand, Dave, we're surrounded by countries that don't want us here. We've had
agree.
wars upon wars upon wars upon attacks upon tea attacks upon unalivings, about bombings, about people sitting at cafes and restaurants and bus stops. I don't need to tell you, you know this.
Sure.
So,
And
I mean, if
and
it's not going to be
to
Iran, or sorry, the IRGC for that matter, now as we're seeing it, who knows who it's going to be. We have Lebanon right now. What are you talking about? Israel alone is dealing with Hezbollah in Lebanon right
mhm,
now as we speak. We have soldiers IDF
agree.
inside. We have soldiers that last night that took, had a very good fight last night and took some. I don't want to get into it. It doesn't matter, but
Sure.
we're dealing with all fronts. We have our issues
Is
inside
it?
too. Let's not forget. Like there's just so much. But again, we listen for the country the size of we are. Damn, we're fucking like killing it. And no pun intended, but we are.
Go ahead. But isn't it fair to say that it seems to me, at least recent history says, these groups, these terrorists do not die. Individuals might die, but the organizations
Mm,
or the groups do not.
mm.
Unfortunately, look at the terrorist group Hamas.
And neither will Israel, Dave.
I, I yes, I agree. I'm not.
So
That's not
until
my.
they
You're
realize,
responding to
listen,
things.
I'm gonna give you
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you a line. I know it's like whatever, but it is a line that came in 64/7 by Golda Meir. When they love their
Okay.
children more than they hate us, there will be peace. Period. That's it. She said it
Okay.
best.
So
And it's the same thing, 2026, same shit. When they realize that instead of exerting their energy and money and billions of dollars, okay, into how they can bomb us and have wars with us and build tunnels and infrastructures of laying down nuclear sites and so on and so forth, when they take all those billions and think about their future of their children and their children's children and start thinking about how it would be better to maybe take and exert that energy on the positive rather than the negative. And when I say that, I mean Israel. You will see a different world here, but they don't. And that's what it is. And that's the,
and everything.
that's, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, everything you're saying, I kind of agree with. Right. I see why you're saying it. But what happens if reality is 5 years from now? And I don't see how it changes. But 5 years from now, all these terrorist groups are still around, unfortunately.
Right. So
Now,
as,
the hope
yeah,
is that they every time they start shit up, more and more of them die off. But
because they don't
let's just
learn.
say that and I agree. I agree with you. But why does it make sense to continue and fight for this and not want Trump to get a quote unquote ceasefire after they do as much damage as possible, when the end result is these terrorists are still going to be terrorists. 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. I think that's reality.
I agree with you at the same time, but we're not going to back down and put ourselves and our civilians in our country at risk. And just
What
like
you're
you said,
saying, be
what?
be smart, not what
Yeah.
you're saying, be right, not what is it?
No, what am I saying? Put that on the t-shirt. Be smart, not right.
Right. So,
Hmm.
and I think this is a perfect example is if you root for a quote unquote ceasefire, knowing
Okay.
reality is, let me finish,
Okay.
knowing reality is terrorists are going to be terrorists,
Hmm.
unfortunately. Fuck them
Hmm.
all.
Hmm.
Okay. So why not, let's just say for the next 3 years, Trump keeps you safe. Why not? Wait, why are you laughing at that?
Because that line and bringing out of Trump, Trump is the one that said back in June, and this is actually a good example of being smart, maybe not right. Was when
Hmm.
Trump said back in June, called back the IAF and said, "Hey, stop right here, stop right now." That was Trump being smart and not right, right? But at the same time,
Okay.
look what happened 6 months later. So again, yes, I stand by my sentence, all day. But at the same time, sometimes you got to be like, all right, fuck around and find out.
Oh, I mean, I still don't, and acknowledging that I'm not from there and I'm clueless on it, but I can't help but think when I saw that story on CNN, like, why would anybody want this to continue, knowing that reality, unfortunately, is 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, terrorists are still going to be terrorists. And so why allow it to go on when when I
I said this
tell
to
you,
you. I
go
said
ahead.
this to you.
Sure.
I don't know. Last time we spoke, that
Uh-huh.
October 7th was a game changer. Okay, it turned this country into maybe how we were leftist, rightist, peaceful. There was
Right.
kumbaya and everything else. This country, the people here have changed. Fuck around, you're gonna find out, and it's not gonna be pretty. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
So again, yes,
Yeah.
war is ugly, war is horrible. We don't want it. Conflicts, missions, you call it whatever you want. But at the same time, we are done, okay, backing down, period. And
And
yeah.
I get that. Okay. You're very prideful. And I know you appreciate the IDF, IAF, like unlike
Mm-hmm.
most people here. I get
Mm-hmm.
that and
Mm-hmm.
respect that. But uh, I still have not heard anything that would make me want to sign up for more of this when reality is 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, these assholes are still going to be assholes.
I agree. No,
That's
I can't. There's no argument here. There's always going to be a snake popping up, period. Whether it be in the United States, whether it be in Europe, we're seeing plenty of them for that matter, in those countries. Um, so yeah, wiping out the snakes is probably zil to none right now, especially what's happening, around the world and especially in the United States and especially in Europe. But at the same time, like you said, so another 3 years, another 5 years, another 10 years, and someone's going to pop up again and they're going to start shit again. And those 5, 10 years that it took them to pop up is the same, 3, 5, 10 years that we're going to advance our intel, our technology, our Mossad, our Shin Bet, and everything else that we have to protect our country and our civilians. Because we're doing it on a daily here. And I sound like I'm preaching, but it's just the facts. It's just the way it is here. People put, a lot of money into our security, not because we want to,
as
not
well you
exactly,
should,
not
right?
because we want to, because we have to.
Right.
So,
Okay.
you know,
But do you think if an alien came down and you explained why why it is vital that this war continues? Do you
Hmm.
think that like to me, uh, knowing you and knowing a lot of people that are from there, I do get it, but it does not make sense to me.
Because it's a just and again, Dave, I don't no disrespect here at all whatsoever. I just think it's a
Sure.
different mindset. If you lived here, if you were born here, if you served here, it's a different mindset. It's a survival mindset, especially after October 7th.
And I get that and respect that. But the reality is, regardless of where this is going on, whether it's hurricane season or war, reality is hurricanes are going to keep coming and terrorists are still going to be terrorists.
Yeah,
And why would we keep essentially accepting more and more, missiles flying instead of getting at least a temporary ceasefire?
because again, Dave, I explained it to you. If we have a ceasefire, it's just a matter of time before they, rebuild, remake, rearm, and it's all over again. And
But that's
this is
going to
history.
happen.
But yeah, this is
Okay.
just, it's just circling. It's just another circle. But again, weakening them to each time more and more and more is just means that it's going to take them longer.
Right, but and I get the argument, but as they have had bombs dropped on them for 23, 24 straight days at will, they they're getting weaker by maybe by the numbers and by the leadership, but they are doing more damage over the last 96 hours than they did in the previous 30 days of both wars combined. That's where you lose me.
Well, again, there's no equivalency in a few things. One, damage of civilian homes, cars, streets, roads, whatever. Um, there's no equivalency to damaging their nuclear facilities, their armaments, their bases, their navy, their their infrastructure. I mean, there's,
But,
who's getting hit harder, Dave?
no doubt about it. That's not the argument at all. I'm not sitting there saying that the United States and Israel, they're not fucking them up. That's not the argument. That's obvious.
Again, civilians that are getting targeted and hurt and unalive, for that matter, is horrific and
Yes.
horrible, and it is, part of a war, quote unquote, a mission, or what we're seeing happening clearly, and
Right.
it's horrible, but at the same time, you know, it's not something that we are going to back down from at all.
But
So we're not,
and
we're not
see
stopping.
that. Okay. I mean, I didn't. My thought process. I don't know. If we
It's just
know the
different.
end.
It's just a
Yeah,
different
but
mindset.
yeah, but reality is anybody in here is going to agree that a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, these terrorists are still going to be here. That is reality.
Hmm.
Why allow them to keep sending cluster bombs and
Hmm.
hurting very innocent people?
Hmm. So wait,
Like
if we stop,
sure, sure.
what's going to happen, Dave? What's going to happen?
Uh, I think if these peace talks or whatever is going on,
If,
they
if we
work
stood,
out,
if BB stood at a podium right
then
now and
it
said,
would.
we're stopping,
Sure.
we're done, we're good, let's, peace. That's it.
No, it
Halas.
would no. It would
So
have to
what?
be. It would have to be Trump and whoever the
Trump,
fuck
for that matter.
is
Trump, BB, all of them stood on a
right,
podium and said, we want peace. We can't have
right,
this going on much longer. No, no more, or whatever. What are they going to do?
right,
And they,
and it.
yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead.
No, go. So it's just a matter of time until it happens again. And I promise you, I guarantee
Right.
you, I will bet you whatever you want that it's going to happen from their
Hmm.
side. That's it.
Okay. But I think the answer should be whenever they do make a move, we're going to um, fuck them up worse
Right.
than we did the last time. And
Exactly.
at some point, these idiots have to learn.
No, that's it, Dave. That's a great line, but unfortunately, they do not learn. And why don't
Okay,
they
but
learn? Because of
sure,
a few reasons. One, let's start with their book. Second, it's an
sure,
ego. Okay? They will not
sure.
like it's as if they're on their last leg and they're saying we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't, so we're gonna just fucking do. Okay?
Okay, but we agree that the cycle of life is that war breaks out, it ends, they don't learn.
They don't learn.
Can we agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we know that they're still not going to learn. So why not cut off the lesson right now and save lives? When we know they're not going to learn, we both acknowledge that. So nothing is really going to change with the book, the mindset, etc. So we accept that. We acknowledge that. So why keep trying to teach them a lesson that
Mm.
they don't want to learn?
It's a good question,
Why
but you know what?
okay,
It's kind of like survival mode now.
right,
It's about
but
survival mode. That's it.
sure. I
Okay.
get that. I
Okay.
get it. But you we know that
It's
these terrorists are not going to learn.
right.
Trump is possibly giving everybody an off ramp at some point. Not, I think we still have a couple more things to happen, but at some point, Trump is going to give everybody an off ramp. If we know the end result is they do not learn, why not take that off ramp? Why have more damage, more people die, more people get hurt when the end result is going to be the same whether we stop today or a month from now or 90 days from now? Why not root for it now?
Because we're not done with what we need to do, especially with the IRGC.
Okay. Okay.
The mission
Yeah,
is incomplete, Dave.
okay. Fair
And
enough.
and and and
Go ahead.
again, don't get me wrong. I mean, clearly, like, yeah, I would like it to end sooner than later. But when you have a military mindset, you know, the mission
Hmm.
is complete when the mission is complete.
Okay. But I think the mission sometimes the mission laid out is literally mission impossible. And getting rid of every single Hamas member did not happen. Getting rid of every single IRGC member, that's not going to happen.
Let me ask you a
So
question.
that,
Do
sure,
you not
go for
think
it.
that Israel has the capability of, wiping out Gaza if we wanted to on
Sure,
October 8th,
sure. But
or
of course,
wiping out the way we could Tehran, or they're, doing a lot more damage that you're even seaing now coming from
sure.
Israel?
And some
Right.
people from that are pro-Israel thinks that should have happened.
Mm.
And that's not up to me. I'm just saying that I get the question, but that didn't happen.
Right.
I'm talking about reality. Reality is unless you just completely take them out, wipe it off the planet, there was still going to be Hamas members.
Hmm.
And regardless, Trump and Bibi have been dropping bombs on these assholes for 24 straight days. If they do it for another 24 straight days, there's still going to be terrorists in that country.
Well, it's not just, you know, it's
Okay.
not just it's not just that country for that matter. But yeah, I mean, that's another whole other conversation that we can have. But
Right.
um,
So if the end result is the same, Why have innocent people,
Listen, Dave,
whether
listen.
it's,
This
go
isn't
ahead.
like a kumbaya. We can't have a kumbaya moment. Let's be like realistic here. It's not going to happen.
No,
This world,
I'm not saying
unfortunately, is
kumbaya. No, the
it's
key word is realistic.
yeah, realistic is that Israel is the size of New Jersey and is clearly since October 7th has had nothing to deal with other than, war and unalivings and T attacks and hostages and innocent civilians, you know, unalived and etc. And I can go on. Okay. And like I said, after October 7th, our mind has shifted completely. We're not
And I
standing for this
respect
shit no
that.
more.
But the
Okay.
unfortunate part, D, is the terrorist mindset has not changed.
Okay.
Just because your mindset has changed does not mean that theirs
But
has.
this is nothing new to us. This is nothing new to us. And it's, again, I'm going to go back to Golda Meir because she said it best. If uh, uh, if Israel laid down its arms, what would happen to Israel, right? But
I'm with you.
if the other side laid down its arms, when I say the other side, I mean the whole region around us, okay?
Right.
What would happen, Dave?
There would be peace, right?
Exactly. Right.
That's the point.
Right.
But okay.
Like if you're
But
pushed into a corner
okay.
and you know that it's like do or die, what do you do?
Tell me.
I asked you. What do you do?
I'm guessing you start bombing them.
No. You fight for survival, right?
Okay. That's the same. That's what's going on,
Exactly.
right? So okay. But I just want, if you can just answer this directly. If we know the end result, the cycle of life with these assholes is not going to change, why would we want a war to continue
Dave, it's the
when,
cycle of our
go ahead.
history.
Okay.
It is. I
All right.
know. Like that is the reality. Okay. When people say, Jews chosen people, we're not chosen because we're just like here to like I don't know beam our light on anyone or anything. No, we've been chosen to like fight this fight. That's what we've been chosen to do. Having to stand up and do what we have to do for our survival. People think of it as like some like praise of I this is me, this is my personal like take on it. It's not about being chosen because
Right.
we're like this like sparkling light of like I don't know what, but we've
Hmm.
been chosen to like fight this fight. That's why we've been chosen. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Okay. I am I am
And
stunned
this is the history. Go
by
back. I mean, yeah, sorry.
no, I'm not no, I'm not stunned by the history. I'm stunned by just and literally so this literally happened at say an hour ago exactly when CNN was talking about what happened in Tel Aviv, and just my mind got going, and and it just does not make sense to me. The same result is going to happen. Why put more people at risk when we know? And once again, I get it. Let's fuck them up. Let's make sure they're as as weak as possible. Then that would be me hoping that they fuck them up nonstop for another however many days, and then it has to end. Reality is, these people are not going anywhere. These asshole terrorists
I
that
know.
want so why let it continue? Why root for it to continue?
Nobody's
Right?
rooting, for it to continue. I don't think anyone's rooting for it to continue. I don't think
Okay,
that's
let
the
me
right
phrase
word
it.
to use.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, no
I
problem.
just
So
think
why
that right.
not?
Yeah.
Sure, let me rephrase it. And that's what happens with these arguments. You guys focus in on a word. Okay, so why not root for a ceasefire? Is that better? Why not do that? Why not root for a ceasefire if we know the end result is going to be the same? That's what I don't get.
There will be a ceasefire when we can put, the check mark on mission complete, especially with what also Trump put out.
What did Trump put out?
Clearly, like their nuclear capabilities, the proxies,
Mhm.
you know, disarmament, and so on and so forth. But did you see what came out yesterday? For me, yesterday, you probably
Just
like.
real quick, I just want to
Mhm.
order Mystique answer Mystique, not order Mystique. Why do we start the war? Is still think right? Take out the Ayatollah, fuck them up, make sure that they cannot do damage to our allies for a long time to come. So I think that question is very dumb. Um, and and at some point, Trump will end this and say mission complete. And I feel everybody, whether you're in the USA or anywhere, should be rooting for that to happen. But good, you could respond, D.
So the last thing I read was that they're
Wait,
sending.
stop. I'm so
Mhm,
sorry, D.
mhm, mhm.
If we don't succeed, what are you talking about? Sitting here today, if we could get a ceasefire, these people over there are much weaker than they were 25 days ago, right? There's no way around that. Now, we're going to need to do the whole trust me, bro thing. That's reality. But I think everybody should be rooting for that to happen as soon as possible. Go ahead, D. Sorry.
Yeah. So the last thing I read was that they're sending JD Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner to have some sort of like, I don't know, negotiations, or if you want to even call it that, with uh, Pakistani mediators, which is hysterical. Okay, like that's who they're sending. Pakistani negotiators with to sit with JD Vance, Kushner, and Witkoff, and then another. I have to find it, but I don't know his name. Another like whatever general there from the IRGC um, said that they will not back down. And this is verbatim from what I remember. I can bring it up. It's not going to be an eye for an eye. It's going to be a head to an eye, and that um, they want uh, what was it? They want what's the word? Um, they want
Okay,
money for
regardless.
rebuilding
Okay.
of all the infrastructures that have been taken out. Okay, which is hysterical. Like, I mean, I don't even know why Witkoff and Kushner and JD Vance are wasting their time. When on the
I'm
table,
so,
whoever made that
can I
phone call
answer?
is
Can I answer
yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet that at some point this ends, of course, and the current regime is going to get a much easier deal than they did before. Unfortunately, that's reality. Now, the reality is that they're still much they're not as strong as they were at the start of this. But I think there are going to be concessions made, and that's reality. And if Trump came out and or it leaked out and said this is the deal, I can see why it makes sense. All right. This isn't a real negotiation. Okay. Now, you could say, well, Trump is going to let the stock market do its thing this week, and on Friday night, he's going to fuck them up. Can the chat hear me?
Yeah, it was breaking up. I don't know if it was just for me or for everyone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
What were you saying? I'm
So
sorry. I didn't hear you.
Trump could, I was responding to the chat a little bit, but Trump could easily just let the stock market skyrocket this week and then on Friday fuck them up all weekend long and then try and put a band-aid on it sometime soon. That's a real possibility. I have no, if that's what he decides it. But I just know at some point it has to end, whether it's in a week, a day, a month, 10 years. At some point, it has to end. And I just think the end result is the same. Terrorists are going to be terrorists. And if that's reality that we both agree on, try and save as many lives as possible and root for it to end.
Hmm. So I'm going to read you right now. I brought it up. So it says
Sure.
this time, his name is senior Iranian
Wait,
official
hold on one
Mush.
second. Hold on one second.
Hmm.
Hold on one second.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mish, end result isn't the same. What are you talking about? They're starting off much weaker, but they're gonna build back, right? We know that. That's reality. We that's a given. So why are we even saying end result isn't the same? They're going to build back better, to quote Joe Biden. Unfortunately, that is reality.
So are we,
Go
Dave.
ahead, D. Oh, okay. Circle of life, exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, it is.
And
It's a sad reality, period. There's no better, like, I don't know how else to put it, but it is the reality.
okay, hold on. Let me answer me. So why did we ever go to war? We have more to do and result not the same. Why did we go? Whenever Trump gets out, he will be able to stand in front of the American people and say, we fucked them up. They are much weaker than they were. So if the result is they are weaker and Trump gets a ceasefire and there's peace for the next 3 years, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. Now, will they build back up? Unfortunately. Will Israel build back up? Of course. Will the United States rebuild their manpower and stockpiles? Of course. But this is the circle of life, it seems, in the Middle East.
Okay, let me just
All
read
right,
this
go ahead.
quickly because my iPad
Sure.
battery is like on like two. So his name is the senior Iranian official Mohsen Razi, recently reported to have been appointed military advisor to the supreme leader Mojtaba Khomeini. Reportedly has said. This time it will not be an eye for an eye, but a head for an eye, and you will leave the Gulf. This The war will continue until we receive compensation for all our losses. All economic sanctions are lifted, and we receive international legal guarantees that Washington will not interfere in our affairs. Yeah. All right.
I'll be honest. I mean, all the tough talk really means nothing. It's just the end result of this war. And reality is the circle of life starts the very next day. And that is it, right? At some point it ends. You, Israel rebuilds, the United States rebuilds, and they rebuild. And we'll meet back here in, I don't know, 5 years.
Probably. As sad as it is,
Okay.
as sad as it sounds. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
And
a
if it's
very
not,
like,
go ahead.
this region isn't a light one, Dave. This isn't, this isn't kumbaya and flowers and roses and all is good. No, clearly. And I think that also by them now involving the other Arab countries such as Kuwait, UAE, Saudi, Qatar. This has even like opened up a full-on Pandora's box. And maybe you're not seeing these countries, um, you know, attacking directly and right now with America and Israel. But believe me, they've, from what it's either Saudi, no, I want to say the UAE has already frozen like all their assets. So they're also like putting the chokehold on themselves for that matter. And with that
Okay.
happening, is other countries that we never thought we'd really align with, for that matter, and not as soon as it's happening, are we're slowly doing, our affairs with them behind the scenes in regards to the IRGC and what we have to do, in as far as the blueprint for the future.
The unintended consequences of this war are these other nations that are going to work with the U.S. and Israel. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. And then number two is going to be NATO should be done,
Ugh.
just done. Okay,
Did you?
so
Did you?
those are going to be two long-term things that are going to be a benefit of this war.
And I think it's also been an eye opener, not only for Trump, but for like Hegseth and
Sure.
the powers that be that are around Trump, and also militarily for that matter. Hegseth said, I think it was the not yesterday, maybe the day before. He said, um, I want allies like Israel and not allies that we're seeing only on paper.
All
Oh
right.
my
So
Why
man.
you mad?
Yeah.
Why you mad? Your thoughts on that convo?
I just don't. First of all, is fucking Delight in Israel or the fucking safari? Like, is she in the Amazon? All these got these
I
goddamn
know. I have these.
birds chirping and
Okay,
shit.
I'm gonna say for all the people, because Dave knows, I have these like three huge palm trees right outside my living room, like a huge window where I sit to like have my coffee, whatever, in the morning. And they have huge, huge birds' nests, like parrot birds' nests. And I don't have the heart to like call the city and have them take them down. So yeah, they're really fucking loud. I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's
Okay,
not
well,
in my
listen.
house. I don't have cages in my house. They're like literally right outside my window.
Okay, it's fine.
And
It's fine.
yeah,
I'm
so
gonna say my statement. I'm gonna
they're
say,
my
listen.
Zionist birds here. Yeah,
All right.
sorry. Go ahead,
I
Dave.
mean, obviously they haven't left because I feel like birds, if they're not caged, would have left from boom booms. Either you got them chained by the foot or they really ride or die. Now, next thing. Obviously I do have friends and family that I consider family out there that live in that land. So I'm not coming from a point where I'm just like, oh, F the Middle East. But I just gotta be honest with you, D Light. Like, I'm trying to understand like why you're not understanding what Dave is talking about when he's like, listen, we want Trump to be out of there. We got more important things to focus on. Like, I don't understand. Like y'all are cool. Like, I'm really not trying to cause a division. I'm just trying to find some understanding as to why you don't understand where he's coming from. I'm lost. Can you explain quickly, like, why you're trying to like say like, like this should be a priority for America
I
when
never said that.
No, it's just a no, no, no. I think the biggest thing and just point blank, I am mind blown by the conversation. If we know the end result, why would anybody not want the horrendous part of innocent people dying?
Because
Okay, that's
also,
the
like,
last. Why? Hold on. That's the last last chapter of this book. Okay, why not want that to end? And unfortunately, reality is the next book starts, they start rebuilding, and eventually we're back in the same spot. That is reality. So why not? Why are so many people fighting me tooth and nail and flipping the fuck out on me, sending me long messages, bitching and moaning, and I haven't addressed any of that until the CNN story I saw an hour ago. So good, Delight.
Yeah, I'm waiting too.
Listen. Trump isn't a stupid, man. Absolutely not. He knows the game. He knows how to play it.
It's not about Trump
He's.
love. It's
It
about
is. It
it's
is because
okay.
I
Not
understand
really.
how you have said. We need to get out of there. We shouldn't. We just need to do what we got to do and get the fuck out. And I get it. I understand where you're
No,
coming from. But
forget
the
that.
bigger
Forget that.
picture.
I'm focused on your mindset. Forget my
Oh,
mindset. Fuck Dave. Okay, forget him. I'm trying to understand your mindset that if we know the end result, we know how this chapter ends, we know how the next one begins. Why not? Why not be rooting for the
because if
ceasefire
we
to take
can't,
place?
because like we said, we're not going to get rid of all the snakes, right? We can't. There's always going to be a
Sure,
snake popping up. But our
sure.
if we have to do what we have to do in order to weaken the snakes, then that's what we're going to do.
Snakes.
Yes.
Okay, so
More than one
okay,
snake? I thought the
We have, yeah.
IRGC
yeah.
was the
No,
creme
I
de la
agree
creme.
No,
with
no,
that.
no,
No,
no.
I
We have
agree
a
with
lot. Come
I
on
agree with
now.
that.
So that's what we're doing, period. And I get it, but this is so much bigger than just, again, like the Strait of Hormuz and China and the oil and the billions of like and NATO for that matter. Now there's just so many like pieces to this game right now, and Trump was in his again. Trump is not stupid. I'm sure that him and his dream team have mapped it out from every which way that you can possibly think of in regards to the IRGC, in regards to the Strait of Hormuz, in regards to China and Russia for that matter, which clearly they're not getting involved. Um, so
Russia?
yeah,
Just very bluntly, do you think Israel is safer today than they were 25 days ago?
No.
yes, yes,
No!
yes.
Girl, shut the front door
Why
right
no?
now. I'm
Why
about to
no? Why
cuss.
no? Tell me. You tell me why no? Why you mad?
What are you talking about?
Tell me why no? You said no. Why no?
Didn't in ARAD, I'm not saying it correctly, but Arad, didn't like 200 people get injured? Isn't that like a large mass casualty event? Like y'all are about to get numbers that are topping like close to like, what are y'all talking about? You think it's safer? Are you serious?
Did I say safer?
That's what Dave
What do you?
asked.
Yes, you did.
Do you
Yes, you
think? Oh,
did. The
it's
question
safer in
was,
regards
art
to what?
is
Oh, in regards to the bombs that are being dropped.
Girl, stop
of
playing
course.
fucking
No
games
one,
and
no
answer the
one, no one.
question.
Listen. Again, I've said this like now I don't know how many times. The unaliving and people and civilians for that matter, because clearly that's what they're targeting. Okay. Yes, it's horrific. It's horrible. I mean, there's no backing that shit up at all whatsoever. I can't. I won't. But at the same time, okay, there are casualties and injuries in, I don't want to say war. I don't want to use that word. In missions, in
So
conflicts.
we're not at
It
war.
is war. It is
It
war.
is a
Trump
war. What
has
are you
used the word.
talking about?
Trump has
Has
used the
he?
word.
Oh, he's used it now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you're saying
he
this
used
is
it like
not a
I'll
four
use
times
war?
in
it.
a row the other
Okay.
day.
Okay. That's all I'll use it.
Wait, you think this is not a war?
I'll use it. I wasn't going to use it. I didn't want to, but if Trump's doing it, then I'll do it. How's that?
I mean, it doesn't matter what you call
Yeah.
it, right? You could call it anything you want. Reality is, at some
Reality
point, it
is
ends.
that there are
Go
casualties
ahead.
and there have been unalivings and that's unfortunate and it's horrific and horrible, period. But at the same time, we have to do what we have to do here until, again, clearly, hopefully, but clearly, because there's always going to be a snake, maybe not get rid of it completely and forever, but weaken it.
So basically,
But hold
Iraq
on,
2.0.
hold on, White Man, hold on 1 second. But my problem with that argument is they have been bombed for 24 straight days, nonstop, uninterrupted, and they are doing more damage in the last 4 days than they did in the previous 32 days of war.
Yeah, and I thought they was
That's
running
what.
out of missiles and shit, but they sitting in heavier shit these
Hold on.
last 4 days.
Okay, why you mad? Stop, please. That's why it doesn't make sense to me, D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it was that, okay, and that's not including them shooting missiles off everywhere else or drones or whatever the fuck they're doing. That's not including taking out American service people. If it was getting the numbers were getting smaller and the amount of people hurt or killed was smaller, your argument would make sense. But that's where you lose me even more.
I don't think you understand the
Okay.
size of Iran. Okay. Tell me why you mad. What's the size of Iran?
Bro, I know it's 90 million people there, and what Dave said was when they was going out to protest, it was a fucking pep rally. And what we understand as Americans is there's not a lot of people that support the Shah and want regime change. The majority of the people, according to Americans, and I'm not Iranian and I can't speak for them, the majority of them want that shit to stay.
Okay, sorry, white man. All right, so Zionist, how is that pally logic? Are, to me, the pro-pally movement was not based in facts or reality. What am I saying that is factually not true? And you're asking me what number is okay. You guys are the ones at some point where maybe you say, okay, enough is enough. I hope Trump does get a ceasefire. Wait, hold on. AQ, Dave, who are you scared of for you to drop the panel? Are you paying attention? I dropped the panel because I wanted to address Zionist apricot. Is that okay with you? Trump warned people would die. You mentioned numbers. That's the logic? Okay, so, all right, so let's make it make sense. At some point, this is going to end. We know reality. They're still going to be over there. We're still going to have multiple groups surrounding the country. Okay? So if we know the end result is the same, why allow more innocent people to die? Why not root for the ceasefire and reduce terrorism by 97%? But you're giving me a fact that I assume is true. I'm not going to fight you on it. But once again, let's just say, God forbid, down the road, in any country that is involved in this, instead of 70 people being hurt in one day, it's 700 people. Would like, and that's where we're going. Is everybody's argument is, well, we are making them more weak, but they're doing more damage. Right? That's not pally logic. That is reality. And if you remember, whenever I would debate the terrorist, one of the questions I would ask, very simple, was how many innocent people, quote unquote, in Gaza have to die before you start demanding that Hamas gives back the hostages? I went to that question often. So because the end result was that that war was going to end, right? So now here I am talking to another group of people that we know reality is the war is going to end. Why not root for Trump and Vance and Witkoff and Kushner to get that ceasefire? Is this rage bait or stupidity? What am I saying that does it not make sense? D, come up, D. I hope to God you're in the queue. No, you're not. Why? Why are you not in the queue, D? Hello, D. Iran's military is ghetto as fuck. Okay, that's a great argument, I guess. What the fuck? How is that a valid response to what I'm saying? D, are you joining me up here? Yes or no? D, are you coming up? Because this is normal shit, man. Right. And I'm not saying it's not normal. What I'm saying is, how does this mindset make sense? I can. Okay, great. Um, D, I do not see you in the queue. Here, invite. I think I invited you, dude. All right, D, are you in Israel?
What?
Hello, D.
What's up?
Are you? What up? Are you in Israel?
No.
Okay, so what are you doing? What did
What?
you think was rage bait? Are you drunk?
No. Like, just the
Okay,
questions you're asking are very pointed. What?
okay. So what was the problem with what I was saying?
I didn't say there was a problem.
What
I
was the
asked a very
comment that
specific
I read from
question.
you? Okay. So your question, I believe, was, is this rage bait or stupidity? What was stupid about what I was saying?
The concept of the war concept, man, this is going to be going on 100 years before us and 100 years after us. It's always going to be some
Okay,
other
then
country, some other issue. It's never just
sure,
going to be one specific situation.
sure. But
It's
that's
always
actually proving
ongoing.
my point. That's actually proving my point.
Yeah, I'm not arguing your point. I'm just saying like that's why having this conversation seems silly.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna drop you. Do you want to say anything else before I drop your dumbass? Oh, you dropped yourself. Very nice. Well played, sir. Linus, I accepted you up. It did not work. All right. I think Linus has left the building. All right. Go ahead.
It's too funny. I thought you were calling me. You're like, D, request. D.
No, 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 no.
I am. I'm
No,
the
he was running his fucking mouth.
original.
Okay,
Oh, it's too funny.
what am
Yeah.
I saying that
Where were we?
do you think
Yeah.
what am I saying that's wrong? Like
No, I'm,
factually wrong.
listen, um, factually wrong. Um, I don't think you're saying anything factually wrong. I think that you're seeing it from a different lens. And I can
But I
understand that. And
okay.
I see
But
where you're
I
coming
don't under
from. That,
okay. But I don't
yeah.
understand how anybody can see it from any other lens. And the reason why I
Wait.
say that with great confidence is the circle of life is never changing. We know that these terrorists are going to build back up and we're going to end up back at war at some point. Don't know when, of course. I don't know what to tell you there. But these groups are not going anywhere, and we're rooting. No, you didn't like that word. We are not rooting for a ceasefire, and the end result is innocent people are dying or getting hurt. And it does not make sense to me. And I don't know how anyone could have this mindset because we know the end. We basically have the end of the story. Why not get to the better part of the story where people aren't dying?
I don't have an argument there. I mean, there's no argument for people, innocent people getting unalive. But again, we have to weaken the enemy as much as we can. That's
And I
it.
agree.
I mean,
Okay.
literally,
Oh,
you cannot trust these leaders. Not with
sure.
them sitting in
Okay.
front of
No
Witkoff
problem.
or Kushner or JD for that matter, or whoever it may be, or signing some piece of paper or saying, yes, sir, to Trump. You cannot. You literally have
Zionist.
an interview
Oh, wait.
with
Hold on. Hold on.
sorry.
Zionists saying that name a war where people did not die. That's not the argument. Like Zionists, you're making arguments that I'm not going to fight you on. Of course, people die in war. But if there's an off ramp to stop the people from dying, when we know the end result is going to be more war down the road, why not root for the? Why not take the off ramp?
Dave, you don't this is a
Sure,
region where
not fighting.
unfortunately, there will be constant conflict.
I agree.
That's it.
I'm
And
not. I'm
innocent
not debating
people
that.
will be unalived, and it is horrible to even think or say, but it is
Sure,
the truth. It is
I'm not
the fact.
debating that either.
So
I
that, I
agree.
mean,
I agree with you.
stopping it now and letting it happen in another 3, 5, 10 years from now, yes, you will probably see the same cycle go again. But if each time that it starts again and you can weaken the enemy and bring them as low as you can take them, it will take longer for the cycle to begin again. It is, and it's a cycle. It is. You just said
Sure,
it. Absolutely.
sure.
But
But when people, whether they're from Israel or the United States, are saying that we must see through regime change, when I think reality is that may be impossible. Why hope that this continues when the end result is, to be fair, it's people from both of our countries dying, right? Does not impact me, but it does impact the people that serve the United States, right? So of course, people are getting hurt in Israel and killed, but unfortunately, that's the case for people that serve my country or our country, because you're from the United States. So I don't know, and I think it's a dead end, because I don't understand why everyone is not rooting for this to stop when we know the next steps.
we don't know. I mean, in
No,
regards to
no,
like
I'm
the
I'm so
conflict
sorry.
in this
I'm so
region, I
sorry.
get it,
I
but
meant to say we do know the next steps. The next steps are they're going to rebuild, and that's that.
well, again, it depends who's in leadership, right? And that's the
Meaning,
it depends who's in the regime, if there's a regime at all, if there's a new leadership there, and the IRGC has been weakened,
okay,
and
so wait, I'm so sorry. Are we still working with the impression that the whole regime is going to be eliminated?
no, but again,
Oh,
we're weakening them clearly, right?
okay.
And who knows what will happen when the people will have the green light and go out and do what they have to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's going to lead to more death.
You know what? Um,
I just don't get it. I don't, D, I just don't get it. Why would we, and this is just my opinion, nobody else's, why would we root
no
for,
one's rooting. No one's rooting for people to be
okay,
unalive.
okay,
God
there we
forbid.
go.
No
We're a
one. No
problem
one.
with root.
No one
Okay,
is rooting. I'm not rooting, God forbid, for anyone
L-
to be unalive,
sure.
but I am
Wh-
rooting for the people that deserve democracy and a better future to fight if they have to fight for it. That's what I'm
Okay,
rooting
but
for.
if the shot encourages people to go out into the streets, do you really think that the current regime will not be ready? These people have nothing to lose.
So do these other people.
I oh okay, fair enough. I mean, I don't get that argument, and when people say that, it bothers me because it's so easy to say that, oh well, they have nothing to lose, right?
But they don't.
It's
Again,
easy,
it's not. It's yeah. It might be easy to say. It's a horrible thing to think of, but it is their only opportunity. Probably this will be their
but
only
you do
opportunity if
realize that's
they.
what Hamas supporters were saying. That they were so oppressed, we had nothing to lose, and I would snap back at somebody in the United States and say, "That's fucking easy for you to say as you're laying in bed in Los Angeles."
Yeah, but there's a difference. There's no comparison to innocent people of Iran that want a better
Oh my.
future for
Okay.
themselves and compare them to the age group to Hamas.
Okay.
I'm sorry, dude.
And one no. I'm not comparing. And this is what happens is whenever common sense things are brought up, you try and make it as if I'm putting them on the same level, and that's not the point. It is not the group that is fighting. It is the responses from the people that are not inside these countries. It's that response
I
that I'm saying that is similar.
Listen, they've been told by Trump, they've been told by Bibi, they've been told by the Mossad, and the Shah for that matter, do not go out until we tell you to. And clearly, what is happening now is that they're weakening them by, by the day. And when I say them, I mean the IRGC and you know the military of the IRGC. They're weakening them to a point where this is what I think, where giving them the green light to go out and do what they have to do is when they will be at a level where the people can do an uprising
But you do realize
and be
you're sitting
successful.
here. Okay, great. You're sitting here saying that where every day they're getting more and more weak, but reality is over the last 4 days they have done more damage in Israel than they did the prior 31 days while at war. That's
Hmm.
where it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, dude.
Okay, all
I
right,
hear
fair
you.
enough.
I mean, I
Okay.
again, I don't, there's, it's not that I'm arguing with you, but, and again, I will say it, but I don't think that you have the mindset that we do here.
Sure.
And I
I'm
think B
not
can
fight.
agree with me. I mean, again, I
Sure.
think so, but
Well,
being
you might be
here
in
and,
for
oh, okay,
you might be in for a surprise because
okay.
Bianca, she has said it has to, and she could correct me if I'm wrong, but it has to end at some point.
It does. I never said it doesn't. We can't
Yeah,
go on, like, you know,
but I feel that she, and I don't want to speak for her. She could speak for herself, but I feel that she is I could use the word rooting with her. She is rooting for Trump to get some kind of deal done. Bianca, go ahead.
Um, Good morning. I just came
Good
out to
morning.
say that Israeli news media this morning is uncovering the fact that I guess Mojtaba has like responded because the Iranian foreign minister passed a secret message, I believe, to Witkoff that basically they want to make a deal and finish this quickly. And it says that we've received Mujtaba's consent and blessing too.
Okay, so is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, well, it depends on from what perspective you're looking at it, right? Like
Oh, no, no, no. For you,
for
if it's legit, right? Who
well,
knows
it's
what's
not.
real, what's not?
It's
But
difficult
go
to
ahead.
say that. It's difficult to say it's a good thing, right? Because that means we now have to deal with Mujtaba, who we don't know where he lands on nuclear weapons at all. Um, but I guess positive is that we're not going to go into nuclear war. Like, it's. I don't think it's solely good or solely bad. Um,
Okay.
but but it does mean that we are edging closer to the end of this conflict. And it says that Israel was not invited to the talks, and they only found out about this communication by chance.
Okay. Um, okay. And I find it interesting that the pro Pallies are saying you're lying, or not technically you, it would be Israeli news is lying. Um, but they're the same. Like, why are you guys, if you're pro, or it's not that you're pro anybody, you're just anti-Israel, okay, which is even more dumb. Okay, they're fucking your side up even worse, a million times worse. More people on your side are dying, you dumb fucks. But you're just as you're worse. Go ahead, D. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't
If it's
know. I
legit.
mean, again, if it's legit, it's now just a waiting game, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a good answer, Dave. I don't know. I just know they can't be
Okay.
trusted. They
Sure.
cannot be trusted, period.
I'm not saying trust them. I'm not saying
So
that.
I don't know what deals can be done like with people that can't be trusted.
Sure. Unfortunately,
What
there's
deals
a
can
lot
you
of
deal
people,
have a deal with people that you know are sitting in front of you and
but
smiling, smirking in your face with a pew pew
is
behind
that
their back or neck, sorry,
it? Has that not been history as well?
with this
Unfortunately,
regime,
we
yes. To the
okay.
face, to Witkoff's
Unfortunately,
face, to Kushner's face, to Trump's face, to
correct,
everybody, every president for that matter since I don't know what, Bush.
correct, and unfortunately, Trump and Witkoff and Bibi and Kushner had to negotiate with fucking Hamas, right? And reality is they're still around, unfortunately.
Really, it is
Okay,
that we could
so
have done a lot more damage, but we took the.
but okay, let's forget about Hamas for a second. Let's focus on this war. It's been 24 days, I think. Let's say it is 24 days. If Trump and B were to bomb them another 24 days nonstop, there would still be members around.
But we,
That's the crazy
but
part.
weakened.
Go ahead. Some may say that they could get stronger,
Hmm.
right? Look at what's his name?
They're
That Nate.
defecting.
Oh, okay, sure. But look at Nate Swanson, I think his name is. He worked on the negotiations between the United States and the Ayatollah. And he said, if you wanted regime change, this actually was counterproductive. That's not me. That's not anybody else. That's not a pro pally. That is somebody that was in the room talking about making a deal. And his reason was that that motherfucker was about to die anyways.
By who? Oh, you mean the
Wait,
Ayatollah?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, 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 of
oh,
course.
oh, oh. I, I,
That was,
I think that was
go
also
ahead.
more of like, you know, more
What?
of showing,
Okay,
showing.
sure. But okay, so you could show force. You could show that, we own you, that you're going to do what we say. But is that really being smart and not right? In
But
retrospect,
Dave,
go ahead.
so in response to yesterday and Trump's tweet, Bibi did come out with a statement to the Israeli public saying, essentially, we're going to continue to pursue our interests and our targets in the region, and we're going to keep striking. So I don't
That
know
doesn't
if
mean that doesn't mean
no, the
past
tone
when
does
Trump.
no, the tone in which it was said is like saying we're going to continue come hell or high water.
I
That was the way
don't
in
think
which it
that'll
was
happen.
received. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that
So that
happens. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that they watch, if they're watching that and they want BB to continue, they're going to take that conversation or not conversation, that statement and say, yeah, he's continuing. I didn't see it. The only clip that I saw was
no.
whenever he said, "Well, go ahead."
It was no, it was in Hebrew. It was to the Israeli public, and
But
I
I
don't
saw a
think
video
anybody
of
could
him speaking
mistake.
in English.
Yeah, no, this one is in Hebrew because it was meant for like the Israelis, and I think everybody can understand clearly what he's trying to say here.
What's he trying to say? Go ahead.
He's trying to say that we're gonna basically nobody's going to intervene on our interests or stop us from pursuing our interests. Literally one of the quotes is, "We will safeguard our vital interests in any agreement." And he also said that we're committed to continuing to strike the targets. But the way in which and the tone in which he said it was like kind of just saying like whatever Trump is doing, he's doing. And yeah, I mean,
Okay. Well,
I don't
then
see
if
how
that,
anybody could watch that.
okay.
Yeah, but I
Well,
think
I did
B.
not
I
see
also
it.
think that he was also stating that in regards to Hezbollah.
Do you think he meant
No, it was
that in
about Iran.
regards to?
Iran. Hmm.
Yeah, it was about Iran.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it would
It's
be
kind of. I
it.
mean, I don't want to put more into it. I think everybody can watch it, and basically, he's saying, "I'm doing what I want to do."
I think that would be very dumb. Very, very dumb. This is the most pro-Israel administration ever, and if Trump if Trump wants, BB done, yeah, I think he would follow through
I think they're
and do
more
it.
aligned than we even think, or no, for that matter.
Okay,
But
fair enough. I don't know, but obviously time will tell in regards to that.
And troops keep coming. By the way, like they're
Sure,
still on their way. He
and they
hasn't
should,
canceled. Everybody's still in
and they
position just in case
and they should.
talks go nowhere.
It is a possibility that Trump will continue the peace talks and things are going great as the markets recover, only for them to crash next week as he spends the weekend fucking them up. It's very possible. Okay, so what happens if all the things that are getting leaked out are all lies, and Trump says fuck it? They think I'm fucking around, and he spends the weekend bombing the living shit out of them. That is a possibility. So at least before you go and do whatever you're planning to do, knowing the stock market will crash more, at least you get 1 week of it rising. But we'll see. There's people in the queue. I have no clue who the majority of you are. I am intrigued. All right. Uday, you connected first. Where are you from? Uday. Very good.
To get people up here, another thing
Sure.
is that the Strait is now allowing all like the European ass kissing countries that didn't want to get involved to pass through.
Hello,
just
Dave.
British and Israeli ships or not.
Salty, what's going on?
Hey, from America, Arizona.
All right, you run your mouth a lot in the chat.
I do.
Okay, and to be honest, I forget who are you disagreeing with, me or
You.
the people that? Okay, go ahead. Tell me what I have said. Give me the number one thing that I've said that you disagree with.
I think the number one thing I disagree with you is that this is a pattern that we can't break. Like you implied that it's a pattern we can't break from.
Okay, so how do we break from it?
I think we need to like invest in democratic institutions within Iran, kind of like similar to what we did in Germany in World War II.
Okay,
Right? We need to change the mind of the people there, and I think we need to finish the job.
okay. So are you saying let's get rid of 93 million people?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we put
Okay,
boots on the ground and we take over the
uh-huh.
country.
Right. Okay, so let's go down that road. Let's just say Trump does do that. And it's still a possibility that Trump does actually do
Have you
that,
actually
right?
looked at Poly Market? You know, most people think he will by December.
Okay, fair. And if that's the case, that's the case, right? So let's just say Trump does do that. And your goal is what? To basically get rid of all the people that align with the bad guys.
Not get rid
Correct? Is
of,
that fair?
more like a
Okay.
like an education process, similar. Like you know how after we came into to Germany, right, with the Yahtzees, we like showed them films and kind of just educated them on like how it's wrong and stuff like that. And I think we
All
owe it
right.
to
And
them for what we did to them.
how much time do you think that'll take?
I think it could take maybe like a couple years, but I mean, we did
Right. You
overthrow.
would need. Okay, go ahead.
But we did overthrow the democratically elected president, right? Like in the 70s or something. We kind of like messed it up a little bit. I think we owe it to them.
Okay. I hope I might start praying again. I pray that Trump does not go down that road. Okay, that will not go well. Right? So you want Donald Trump to play tutor for 93 million people.
I I think
Do you
kind
believe
of,
that
but
that is a serious option?
I think it's the only option to break the cycle.
Okay. And okay, so what happens if we go down that road? And keep in mind a lot of these people in that country, they hate the West.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens if it backfires? They run elections and we get somebody even more radical that hates America even more and the state of Israel even more. How is that productive? There's a chance of that.
I think that's completely possible, but I think that we need a
Okay.
couple years of the education first before we allow the elections to happen.
All right. So what you're saying is option one is we make them much weaker, right? And we basically go back to war in a couple years, or we spend a couple years where American soldiers, unfortunately, probably are dying,
Sadly,
and
yeah.
where the end result is questionable at best.
I think it's
How does
questionable,
that
but
make sense?
well, I compare it to the status quo right now, right? We're letting Iran have the kill switch to the global economy.
Not for long.
Not for
Not for
long.
long. I don't think that's going to be the case for much longer.
And how would we get Iran out of the Hormuz? I think we need boots on the ground to do that.
And if that's what it takes, then I'm sure Trump will do it. I'm sure there's no doubt that Trump recognizes that before he gets the fuck out of there, he must open that back up. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's priority number one, of course.
Okay, so let's go to D. D, what are your thoughts on the IDF and American troops going in, spending a couple years? We'll build up some nice schools, make sure it's air conditioned, nice chalkboards, nice everything, and we're going to teach them. Your thoughts?
No, I'm not down with the boots on the ground, but there are boots on the ground inside. When I say boots on the ground, I mean special forces. Let's call them that. Yes,
Okay.
that yes. But boots on the ground, like hundreds and thousands of them. No. No.
Okay.
Special forces?
What about
Yes. These are the men that are trained for this. These are the men that are waiting for this, you know, but not
maybe
boots.
we call it special teachers?
Special ops. Let's call it.
No, special teachers, because my friend Salty, who has been running his fucking mouth in the chat, that is his idea on how we fix this. Are you in or out?
No, not with boots on the ground, not with regular boots, but special ops. Yes.
Okay, but the special ops aren't going there to build schools
No.
and teach them. They're going there
No.
for other things.
Yes.
Right. So, Salty, do you have any other ideas? Because point blank, I think that's dumb as fuck.
Honestly, I think you need to make the case of war to the American people. And I think there's different ways you could do that. And I think we need to, announce to the American people like what the difference is between a regular war and a just war. And I think this is a just war.
Okay. I get that, and I think it's possible that Trump says, "Look, I spent 5 days, 5 more days negotiating with these assholes, and it's a must that I put X amount of troops on the ground to make sure we open back up the strait." That would make sense to a lot of Americans. And if he puts another timetable on it, it's going to be for X amount of weeks or whatever, and these are the objectives. I think the American people could get behind that.
I just think
At the very least, the Trump supporters. Go ahead.
I mean, I just think that there's going to be a response regardless from the IRGC. Once we do put boots on the ground, I think it's the only way possible to open Hormuz. So I think we're
Yes.
gonna inevitably have to take down this regime. I think we need to do it sooner rather than later.
Dave, are you down
Okay.
with like what I said? Special ops being put. Yes,
Yeah, but they're already there, apparently.
they're already there, and sending more of those is I can understand, but
Yeah, but what is their objective? The only reason I could justify that is getting the uranium.
yeah, that too.
What
And
else?
targeting, infrastructures by being on the ground and personnel by being on the ground. Absolutely.
Okay.
Fuck up some
All right.
wires.
Okay. So, Salty, if Trump came out, at the end of this week or next week or in a month and said, we're done here and there's no full on regime change, but he says, we accomplished my goals, is it still a win for Trump or no?
I think it's a loss for America.
Okay.
I think so. And
all right.
the why here
Ho-
is because I think
All
we
right.
lose
Fear mongering, line one, please.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
think we lose credibility with Middle Eastern nations, and it'll turn them away from military assistance and cooperation.
Who would we lose credibility with?
Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia,
No.
they're all going to look to work with Iran more than they do with us.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if we can't protect them and we can't open up the strait,
Who were we protecting them from?
obviously the IRGC.
Okay, so if the IRGC is still in charge in this scenario, why there goes Linus, smart boy. Wait, you're doing 2 + 2 = 157 million.
How is that equivalent? How?
So in this scenario, the IRGC is still in charge, right?
Yeah, in this
Trump
scenario.
says to, okay, so you're saying that these countries would go and work with the same regime that tried to fuck them up.
I think they're in their eyes, they're gonna see it as a must for their own national security.
Too funny. I
I
disagree,
mean,
but
hold on. Look at Oman.
but I'll be
How
honest with you.
them.
I'll be honest. Even if that's the case, I really don't give a fuck. Okay, I just want Trump to get the fuck out. If other countries are dumb enough to align with these assholes, then that's their fault. It's no problem to me.
So you think we should give up influence in the Middle East?
To be honest, whether you like it or not, I think it's slowly going that way.
Yeah, and that's why I think we need to put boots on the ground.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't sell me. These countries aligning with the same group that tried to fuck them up If that's what they decide to do, then good luck.
I think
But
yeah.
I think 10 years from now, our influence over there will be much smaller than it is now. There's no way around that.
Yeah, I mean going the way it is right now, of
And
course.
and just to be clear, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
You don't think that's a bad thing?
No, no. I think that is the way America, unfortunately, is going. And you could say, unfortunately, or it's a good thing. I'm kind of torn on it, not going to lie.
Well,
But I think that that is reality because you have a Democratic Party that they're going to spend their whole 2028 primary season seeing who could bash Israel more. There's no way around that.
I think
Okay, the only
I think
go
that's
ahead.
likely, but I don't. I think that they're still gonna. Of course, we're still gonna work with Israel because they're allies. Like, I mean, every single
Sure.
Democrat has worked with Israel still.
Okay.
Most. I wouldn't say every, but most.
All right. So anything else, Salty?
Um. Also, just making the case about what's it called? You know how they're like gonna kidnap people, Americans, right? That's another thing that we got to worry
All
about
right.
now.
So fear mongering line two. No. All right. Go ahead.
Well, it's not fear mongering when it's true.
Okay. Tell me more.
Okay, more. Um, I think that
No.
long term,
No.
this will be
Talk
good
about
for
the
all sides.
kidnapping thing. I did not hear this.
Oh, I think even Bianca said this that their IRGC has been kidnapping Israelis, right? And they gave out like an international warning, like everywhere, that Americans aren't
Is that
supporting.
true, Delight? Hello,
Yeah,
D.
yeah. Yeah, there was something. I actually also heard Bianca say it. I think it was
Wait. I'm
yesterday.
so sorry. Have they kidnapped Israelis?
No, but they've put out a
Okay.
warning to
Oh, of course.
Americans
Okay. So,
and
all right.
to
All right.
Israelis.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, that
All
that
right.
has
So
been put
nothing
out.
has happened yet.
No, thank God.
All right. So more fear mongering. Okay.
Wait, I would need to look up the thing with the Israelis. I swear I heard Bianca say that there were Israelis kidnapped.
I don't think so. I think that would have caught my attention just like it did right now.
Okay, okay. But I think also long term, right? This will obviously be bad for our enemies, right? Like China. I think this pushes the clock on the invasion of Taiwan if we do take over Iran.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just another reason why we should finish the job. I think there's multiple
Okay.
reasons.
Yeah. None of them make sense to the American people.
Yeah, and that's why we need to make the case for
As
a
a
war to the American people, like we have in the past.
sure. And how do you think? Let's just face reality. 50% of the country hates anything Donald Trump does. Right? Can we agree there? Doesn't matter what he does.
I think
So
it's
you're
more like
already
40. I
at
think it's more like 40.
okay. Great. No problem. So 40%. What percentage of the Trump base do you think is going to sign on for boots on the ground?
Probably like half.
Okay.
So maybe like and of course there's
So do the
apolitical
math.
people
Do the
who
math.
hold
What
on.
does that
There's
equal?
apolitical
What
people who
percent?
will also be in support of this. They're just not with a party.
Hold on one second. For somebody, Spiv, you're saying Democrats are not 50%. Trump's approval rating is in the low 40s. That's reality. Okay, so that would mean 60% not with Trump right now. Okay, so let's just go with 50% are going to bash anything Trump does.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then you're saying half of the remaining half, which would be 25%, would favor a long war. So we're doing something that 25% of the country
But
approves
this
of.
is without making the case for war, obviously.
Okay. All right. So if you're Trump, how do you sell it to the American people?
I think he's already kind of doing it. So whenever he so I think there was something about like Hegseth or one of his people in the cabinet talking about like a religious war. And I think that's like one of the avenues you can like go down. Like you can like put fillers out there. There's different ways you can get people to agree with the war.
Okay, so if Trump were to call a primetime address from the Oval Office, 8 p.m., all the news channels go to the Oval Office. What is his pitch?
I think his pitch should be something like, American people, I know that like war will always be a bad thing, but we got to ask ourselves, when is a war just? And I think we need to remind the American people of 9/11, of all the different occurrences that have happened from radical regimes like like Iran, and how many people
And
this
maybe
for.
throw in that New York City has a Muslim mayor. Maybe throw that in. But go ahead, continue.
I don't think we need. I think that's just I think that will cause unneeded. You know, I
Right.
think Democrats will just get mad at that. But I mean,
Okay,
I am
so
a Democrat.
get to the part where you sell the American people on worrying about who runs a country that 80% of America doesn't even know where it is on a blank map.
Okay, let's just tell the people that long term this will be good for oil, because it will be.
But Americans' oil prices are going up now.
Yeah, now,
So you're saying,
long term
trust
though.
me, bro. Trust me,
Dave, can I
bro.
show you? Can I show you a
Wait,
video that has to
I'm.
do with the? Okay,
Wait. Do you
sorry.
like?
Go ahead.
No, please stop. Are you worried about his presentation not being that great?
His pres-
Delight. Delight. I
Whose
feel that she's
presentation?
laughing.
No, no, I am laughing. I am.
Okay. Whose presentation? Yeah. All right.
It's too funny.
Go ahead, Salty. You're doing good, bro. And when I say good, you're proving my point.
I don't think I'm proving a point, but
You're proving my point that it is impossible to sell the American people on a long-term war. And you could say, well, Dave, it's only going to be 90 days. Yeah, that's how it turns into 2 decades.
so I think we need to like hit hard. It's kind of like just like in Ukraine, we
Sure.
didn't do enough at the start.
Okay.
But again, long term. Okay,
Go ahead.
look.
Go ahead.
Logic only follows, right? This is one of the major gas countries in the world, right? And if we take over their country, right? We educate the people. We bring back a democratic Iran. We're gonna be able to work with
Uh-huh.
this country better. We're gonna have lower oil prices.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm confident. I'm even more confident that Trump should not put boots on the ground and will not. Now, the only exception will be for the straight, a couple thousand with a clear objective and a clear timeline. One thing that has helped Trump supporters is Trump coming out and saying 4 to 5 weeks. Now, if it turns out to be 6 to 7, not the end of the world, no big deal. They're still going to support Trump and the Republicans. It just cannot keep going on, especially when Trump is coming out yesterday morning saying that there's a off ramp to peace.
I think he's
Okay,
lying about that. I
and
think he's
that's
just
fair.
using it for the
That
markets. I mean, look at what
and
remember before, right? Remember before
okay,
this, he said we were having peace talks and like we were having negotiations with Iran. And then what? He
sure,
struck the supreme leader, right?
sure.
And then
And
again, there was a cabinet
Salty, I
member.
said that Trump could be using this week to build back up the markets, only to fuck them up all weekend long. Okay, that is very possible. My hope is that's not the case, but it is possible.
I think it's more likely boots will hit the ground. I mean, Polymarket agrees with me too, so I feel like you're in the fringe.
Sure. If that's what you believe, no problem. I'm two. You're saying let me up. What do you got?
Hey man, I think people who believe that this war benefits the United States, they're the symptom of the Department of Education being dismantled. I'm not gonna say that public education was still great in contrast to First World when it was dismantled, but this guy's salty, man. He's just a regular civilian without education. You can't really blame him or take his opinion seriously. He's not a bad guy. He's just a symptom of the United States disease of arrogance and forceful ignorance that they fed on the population. Um,
Well, can I just point out the ironic part is you're talking education, and ironically, he was talking about education, but what he wanted was American troops on the ground, basically reteaching people how to think.
yeah,
So,
I think he forgot what this country stands for and the foundation of it. And if he believes that indoctrination to our propaganda is when we became a superpower, when we financed the reconstruction of World War II, and then we created the petrodollar farce. He knows the high levels of a few buzzwords that he probably read on CNN, but he knows absolutely nothing. He might not be salty. You're probably a great guy, but man, go focus on pop culture, music,
Yo, this
whatever
is
you
just
kids
ad
do.
hominem. I'm not gonna lie. You didn't make a single
This is
point.
not ad hominem, man.
It is. You're
I've
just
heard everything you
disparaging my
said.
intelligence.
I mean, I am, yes.
Yeah, that's ad hominem. You know that, right?
Well, it's only ad hominem if it's not relevant or backed by anything.
Yeah, and what is it backed by? You know, then you
You're
know me
the
personally,
bullshit
right?
coming out of your mouth,
pretty much,
that's
yeah.
what it's backed
And
up
you can
by.
say it's bullshit, but I know. This is just real politics, okay?
Again, here's just another buzzword. Like, again, man, I don't blame you. I blame the educational institutions that crumbled in your nurtured upbringing, right? Um, again, your generation probably won't have any accountability, and I'm sure there's exceptions. There's a lot of bright ones coming out of your generation too, but the mass majority, like you, only know buzzwords. You only know polar politics. You only know the high level. You only know, what Iran says on CNN or
But as
NBC or,
Americans, do we not benefit from our global hegemony?
oh man, again, man, who is we?
We
Right. I know you're
Americans.
talking about the foreign exchange market, and those even have their own, volatilities. But no, we do not benefit any. You're thinking like this is a soccer team, right? And our captains are going to take your trophies and give them to you, and now everyone has a trophy that we've gotten from all these countries, right? But the unfortunate reality is, which our veterans now are well aware of, these trophies only go to the top 0.01%. And once you get them those trophies from looting the gold trophies from other countries, your figureheads, your Epstein class become more out of touch with the American public. So you've said the American people 3 or 4 times here, which you probably heard on, Good Morning America. The American people want nothing to do with this war. Again, people like you who grew up playing Call of Duty might think it's cool, right? And
I don't
you
think
probably
war is
don't know.
cool if that's what you're saying.
I mean, man,
Look,
I
I've already
recommend.
said this. There are just wars and there are wrong wars, and I think this is just one.
Right. This is again not a just war. I again think you should go serve it if you think it's a just war.
Why don't you just take
Please,
a flight to Tehran, help the
yeah,
Shah out?
Help! I'm
please
not
go.
You
helping
could
this.
be
I'm not helping Santa Shah. I
you
don't think
could
he
be
should be in
his
charge.
Rudolph.
I don't think he should be in charge. I don't think the people want him.
Salty,
Wait,
you
wait, what?
definitely know what
Wait,
they
hold
want.
on one second. Hold on one second.
Dave, I
You're
have to
saying they
drop,
don't want.
honey. Bye, sweetheart.
Okay,
Bye.
D-Light,
Bye.
we love you.
Bye. Bye, honey.
So you're saying the people don't want Santa Shaw?
I think obviously they haven't come up for it, right? There's not enough following. Even when you look at his page, isn't there like a couple million on Instagram? I think we need to after, of course, there's going to be like
His following on Instagram.
set up.
Like I said, Salty, please go focus on pop culture or maybe some
Okay,
music.
But
but
You
wait,
might
hold
not be
on. I'm
that
hold
talking
bad.
on
to the
one
host.
second.
I don't want to hear your voice.
Focus on me for a second. The whole point of regime change was, for a lot of people, was the whole Shah angle. That Shah's presence was going to help speed things up. So you're actually in a worse position. Now you're saying it's 100% up to America.
Yeah.
Okay, make it make sense.
All right. I think that we're the only country that can stop and break the cycle. Obviously, we're the best military in the world, right? And I think that, of course, no, I'm not going to respond to too. That's just my response to Edith.
But let's just say we're in it over there for another 3 weeks. That'll be 21 plus 24, 45. Just imagine dropping bombs nonstop 45 days on these people. and they're still alive. So how do we expect ground forces to go take them out?
Okay, so first of all,
If 45 days of missiles did not, go ahead.
yeah, I don't think just missiles are going to do the job, obviously.
Okay.
I think that we need to obviously strike like port side. We need to strike the south of Iran just like we have been doing. And we need to obviously just like create a beachhead and just like find somewhere where we can actually like create a campaign.
I can't wait.
Can
What?
you go? Can
Campaign,
you
yeah,
go
campaign across
petition
Iran.
for that?
Petition for that. I mean, I actively tell people that we should. So
Here comes Israelis saying that Israel's got sleeper cells. Hey, Eisman, I know Israel has established sleeper cells that they want to blame on Iran. The whole world knows that, man. There's no need
Wait,
for.
you're saying Israel has sleeper cells inside of America?
I'm saying that, yeah. The Israelis that say Iran has sleeper cells,
But I
they're
think that
Israeli sleeper cells.
that's crazy.
That's the
I,
truth. You guys want to live in a lie? Go by all means.
And you called me
And
uneducated, right?
salty, you're definitely uneducated and estrogenic. And I
Estrogenic, is that
recommend
what you said?
you're estrogenic and uneducated. I would definitely recommend you maybe take some tren or some testosterone supplements and then go serve the military. All right,
Why would you want me
please.
to take Tren? You know
Well,
that's
okay,
like
well,
bad for
do
you, right?
something because obviously the
Do you take Tren? Is
microplastics
that what
are.
you're trying to tell me?
I don't take anything because I don't need it,
You don't
right?
need it.
But you,
okay, so this whole conversation, when I started up now 2 hours and 20 minutes ago, it started with the one and only D-Light, and the question was very simple. If we know the end result is these terrorists are not going anywhere, why not hope for Trump to take an off ramp? Right? If we know the cycle of life is war, rebuild, war again, right? They're not going anywhere. Why not take the off ramp where innocent people stop getting hurt and dying? Why not do that? And I think if you paid attention to that conversation, there were not many things that would make sense to anybody. And you could say, Dave, you're dumb as fuck. You're not from Israel. Okay, but regardless of where I am from, does not change the reality of the Middle East. So at some point, the war is going to end. The very next day, if not the very next hour, they will start rebuilding whatever they want. And we're back at it in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. They will never stop coming from you. Wait, coming for you, excuse me. Okay, I'm not going to fight that. Yeah. And they're never going to stop rebuilding, right? Unfortunately, reality is we went through multiple years of war with Hamas. They are still present. Not that I'm rooting for them, but that is reality. And they are, what are they doing now? Unfortunately, probably rebuilding. So what am I missing? If we already know the end result. Why not get there quicker? And that's why it just does not make sense to me. All right, go ahead.
My thing is, if the report is
Sure.
true, right?
What? Can you say it again? Which one?
So Israeli news is reporting that Mojtaba is responding finally,
The Sun.
the Sun, and he sent a
Okay.
message. They call it a secret message, through his foreign minister that he wants this a deal to be made quickly, and just to finish with this for now. Probably because he wants an opportunity to lead, right? And he knows he can't really lead from the condition that he's in. But yeah, that basically that he gives approval or consent to make a quick deal with Trump. And Israel wasn't involved in these conversations. It says that Israel only found out by chance.
Now, can I ask, is this channel that reported it, is it pro-BB or anti-BB?
I mean, they say it's Ynet. It's the same, but
I forget. Are they more pro-BB or anti-BB?
probably everybody was saying that it's anti-BB, but I don't know. It's just
Okay.
freaking Ynet.
Okay, fair enough. So whoever was reporting it, were they acting as if it was like good news, or like how did they pitch it?
No, there was no. The headline had no opinion in it. It was just saying, as a matter of fact, like
Oh,
Iranian.
by the way, he's alive?
No, Iranian foreign minister in secret message to American envoy or that Mojtaba agrees to making a deal and finishing this up quickly.
Is Ynet like, do they have
I've never heard of, by the
what?
way, I've never heard of
What?
like people criticizing Ynet for being like lefty until now. So like maybe it is left. I just never focused on. You know what? I'm gonna Google it right now. Hold up.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk shit on Ynet as Bianca looks it up, or? I know Ynet, okay?
Centrist. It's completely centrist. That's what it's
Okay.
registered as. It's not left and it's not right. Anybody who
See
is right
here,
will think it's too left, but yeah.
right. But would the left say it's too far right?
I don't know. I can text some
Okay.
leftists and ask them.
But here, if you watch the three major news channels, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, everything is given with through their lens. It is very partisan, all three networks.
Tal says it's not a leftist. It's just Ynet. Exactly,
Okay.
Lini. That's what I'm saying. Ynet is just Ynet. It's not. It really is neutral. I've never heard of it. It's not like the channels where like channel 14 is super far right and channel 13 is super far left. Just a neutral.
I thought Channel 12 was super far left.
They always say that, but channel 13 is way more far left. They don't know why they make it seem like channel 12 is more far left. Channel 13 is way more far left.
Why do you think my questions are too, when I'm talking about why not celebrate if there's an off ramp? Because I just know how it's going to go. Is that too harsh to say?
It's not harsh. It's just it challenges people's expectations. The Israelis want for us to go in there, take over the regime, and take the uranium. Trump said yesterday when he was asked about it, and I sent it to you. I don't know if you saw that, but they asked him, "What are you going to do about the uranium?" Trump said, "We're going to make a deal, and they're going to allow us." He said, "Allow us to go in and get them." So not like a conqueror, an invasion or a kind of thing, or a ground incursion, more like a military operation with the approval of the government kind of thing. That's what he wants. That's what Trump said he wanted. He wants to make a deal with the Iranians. It seems like now he's willing to make a deal with Mujtaba and his regime, to be able to send a special group of people to go in, extract the uranium. He wants to know where it is and to leave with it.
Do you think BB feels left out if the
Yeah.
IRGC is saying, okay,
Yeah.
so how does BB respond to that? Because
Um,
before you answer, Zelensky was pissed off that Putin and Trump were just meeting to find solutions. So I see why Bibi would be pissed.
um, can you repeat the second part of your question? Because I was going to answer the first part because I was
How
thinking
does
about.
Bibi respond? I think the most important is very simple. How does Bibi respond? Does
Well,
Bibi go out? Go
mhm.
ahead.
Well, he has a
Go
few
ahead.
options. Obviously, either he can get on board, but I don't think that that's going to happen. Which is why I'm cautiously optimistic. Um,
Right.
then there's the option that he would, you know, decide to strike anyways. Or the Americans can convince him of something. Like, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right?
Sure.
I know that they're very likely pissed if they didn't have insight into this before. And we know, like, this has happened before when Witkoff was trying to make a deal with Hamas during the war, and then when Israel found out about it, we like reported it. So, um, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Bibi coming out with that message to the public saying, like, underscoring the fact that our interests will be protected. I think
I
says a lot.
promise you, there was some video that was shared with me where Bibi was talking in English, and the main message was President Trump thinks that we should pursue, talk to them or whatever, and Bibi was agreeing with Trump, and it was in English.
Well, maybe there's a
So
reason this one was in Hebrew.
I have no. I'm telling you, and when it came up, he did. Okay, so Tao heard that. So why would he give two different messages? That's just dumb to do, right? Either way, if he wants to choose one way or the other, but don't. That's a Carmela Harris move. Is you have one accent when you're doing a rally in Detroit, and another one when you're in Minnesota. Why do that?
I don't know. We just have to, at this point, people can say anything. What we know is being done, okay? Forget words. Forget words, forget news headlines or whatever. What's happening is things are still moving in the same direction. Right? So
Right.
we don't want to be, and anything can change. Anything can happen. And regardless, we don't get to decide. We're just little, talking heads, the peanut gallery on TikTok. But what's still happening is Trump is still deploying the military. Things are still going in that direction. It feels like things are de-escalating right now, but there's some weird stuff happening too. Like
Like
China,
what?
China's just announced
Oh
that everybody
no.
has to no through its
Has to wear a
embassies to get
mask.
out. No, to get out of
Go ahead.
Israel. They're telling
I'm so sorry. Say that again.
China just announced
China said. Go
to
ahead.
all of its citizens in Israel to get out now. Then
Really?
Iran yesterday, yeah. And then yesterday as well, Iran said, everybody get prepared because we have a new weapon that we're going to be using very soon. So that also was like, oh my God.
Future saying more conspiracy. Let's go.
What's conspiracy about it? Like, this is what the people are so stupid. Like, honestly, this isn't conspiracy. This is like facts. Facts are Chinese embassy just released this. Facts are Iran did put out a message, and Bibi will probably not be able to participate either. But to be honest, I don't think Trump has the intention of including Bibi in these conversations. I think Trump's
You think
expectation is
Trump
that.
has an intention to get a deal done?
Oh my God, freaking Orthodox. We used to be friends. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Okay.
I just saw what he said. I couldn't believe he said that.
What did he say?
He said that Tel
Isn't
Aviv
that
needs to get
SKS?
going. Yes. He said, that's why I'm surprised. Can you repeat that?
Right. Do you think Trump sincerely wants to get a deal done?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Because he knows the cost. He knows the cost. He knows what's at risk here. And that's what's so crazy to me is people who aren't counting the cost, right? We're saying it's okay that these things happen. It's, I mean, we can do it, we can pull through, but until it comes to you, right? Like I'm constantly thinking like all the people who are displaced or injured. I spoke with Jan, and she was pulling bodies out of rubble, okay, in the South.
Jan was?
Yes. Yes. That's why I kept saying in the comments, I wish Jan was here for this conversation.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even see that one.
she sent me videos of herself there. Like, so I just, she's seeing the directly, because she's a part of the rescue. I don't know for which group. I don't know if it's for Pikuda Olif or if it's from another group, but she's a part of the rescue. So, you know,
That is
everybody's
that's scary. Well, go ahead. Everybody's what?
no body, like people who are hurt. Oh my God. Maybe can I invite her? Because people
You
are
can
saying
invite
like,
whoever you want.
okay, no, because they're as if I'm like exaggerating or whatever. It's better to hear it from her, who has a first-hand account, who is on the ground. She was on the ground. Remember in June when the hospital was hit? She was on the ground there. She was on the ground on
Right.
October 7th. It's better that she gives her experience of what she's seeing, and she has in the words of the lady yesterday, dogs in the fight. No, you do, D, you do. But what I'm saying is it's very difficult when you've already faced the consequences to say, yeah, no, we got to keep going when people have lost their homes or loved ones.
Karen is saying this has nothing to do with the IRGC versus the world. Smart. Smart, Karen. You're always on top of it.
Yan, Tali, talking about you and your experience in the South, and you know, about the cost of war and what people are facing. There's nobody I think who's seen it firsthand besides you.
I don't see her to invite her up.
Well, I saw her just come in.
Okay, well, maybe she'll jump in the queue. But
Yeah.
so whenever that I ask the question, like, why? I think everybody, including if you're on the good side, the bad side, meaning the IRGC, whether you're Trump, whether you're American, everybody should be rooting for this to end. And I just don't get the mindset. And then the defense of the mindset is even worse. Like it just does not make sense to me. Jan, how's it going, love?
Hi Dave, how are you?
God, I messaged you. You're here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I came only because I see you message me, by the way.
So Bianca was saying what? That you were helping rescue people?
Yeah, I volunteered as a search and rescue unit of my town of Demona. And when the rocket hit, brave ass me was standing in at the window, taking a video of the not interception. And the minute I've seen it hit, I got dressed and we got called in. I had a very long night.
And how much damage did it do?
Um,
Like one
hit in the
building, two
ground.
buildings, three
No,
buildings?
around
Oh, okay.
400 meters from the impact, around 17 buildings that have apartments and around 15 private houses.
Damn.
We had 33 people injured, and out of them, 4 were in critical condition. One of them was a 10-year-old kid with a full amputated arm, unfortunately.
Mm-mm.
And
So, Jan, are
the
you
one
in the
that I
camp
booked,
that
what?
rooting for Trump to get a deal done and this done? Like
Of
the war
course.
over?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I
The
said it,
majority. Okay.
the other day I said, and I don't have a problem with it. People that think that they want a free run, guys, book a plane ticket, go there, fight your fight. Go ahead. I don't want to participate in this. I want my life back.
Yeah, but their argument is we're going to be right back at war in 5 years.
So they think that in 5 years, I will explain to you how I see it. Right now, we're leaving a country with a lot of devastation there, right? A lot of damages, and we're not finishing the job. So either y'all go all in and finish this, or don't half-ass shit. Because the minute they're half-assing things, they will be worse. Why? Because those people will get even more mad. So what have we done there here? What have we accomplished? Because I was trying to convince myself very, very hard that we have accomplished something. Unfortunately, I cannot put my finger on it.
No, but I think BB Trump can say that what they accomplished was they got rid of the Ayatollah, and they set them back multiple years, right?
They have a new Ayatollah now. They have a new.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So it's an idea.
Yeah.
They have a new Ayatollah, right? So it's an idea. You cannot kill off an idea.
Okay, so whenever I was talking earlier, the circle of life is war, it ends, rebuild, and at some point it's war again. So what you're saying is you shouldn't even take the opportunity to knock them down for 5 years. I don't agree with that, to be honest. I think you should fuck them up.
I think that right now in the situation that we're currently in, first of all, the rockets, we have more of them actually. I was one of the most peaceful towns in Israel.
God forbid you say that before they all freak out.
But it's true, Bianca, but it's true.
Right, and if I say the truth, it's a problem.
Posted Dimona is one of the most peaceful cities in Israel that don't have any rockets whatsoever. And look at that, a direct hit. Look at that. I had to break into apartments of elderly people that didn't even have the opportunity to go to the bomb shelter. I don't want to see that.
I will never understand why facts bother people, right? Reality is you could sit up here and say that we are making our opposition more weak. But reality is your opposition is doing more damage in the last 4 days than they have in the previous 31, 32 days of war. So that's where you lose me. And I don't have numbers to back it up. It's just looking at Amir's telegram and talking to people. And to be fair, that CNN piece that they ran at 4 a.m., if that is the case, it should give everyone more incentive to cheer on Trump to get a resolution now. So
situation.
Go ahead.
As you said yourself, Trump will give you a few hints, right, that he wants out. We received the first hint on Truth social media. I don't remember what the post was. We received the second one with him saying, hey, Israel is never going to attack those and those facilities again. That was the second hint, by the way. And there we go. We received the third one last night. It was morning for y'all guys, I think. Right. That he wants.
But there's been dozens of other ones that I could name.
What was the article? Yeah, what was the article that you sent me?
I can put it up. It was N12. That they said that they're running out of war objectives.
Wait, say that again.
Israeli. She has an Israeli article that you. I didn't want to show it because my Hebrew obviously isn't as good as hers.
Oh, show it. Show it. I can translate it. There it is. So move that blue thingy. Come on.
Okay, go ahead.
The sticker.
So it says, במערכת הביטחון ובתיאום עם ארצות הברית מתנהלים דיונים על סיום המבצע. במסגרת הדיונים עלו שאלות כמו מה קורה כאשר ממצים את בנק המטרות. They're saying that it was the night that the Mona got hit, by the way, that was posted. It says that right now we're running out of targets in our target bank, and what will we do when we run out of them? And they're saying that they're right now thinking about ending this shit, the conflict. This was posted the night that the Mona got hit, Saturday night. I'm just saying.
Okay, so that is what's that from? Where's that from?
N12. N12.
What? Okay, is that the lefty channel?
No.
Wait. They said I would work for Channel 12.
No, Channel 12 and N12 is different. Channel 12 is Mako.
Okay, fair enough.
N12 is a different news aid. Yeah.
Okay.
Different things.
Fair enough. Okay, sorry.
Kinda.
Okay, fair enough. No problem. So Um, how is that taken by everybody? Like whenever if you're somebody that you want to quote unquote finish them off, knowing what the end result is probably gonna be, um, I don't know. I guess I would read that and say, okay, it should be wrapped up. Like everything points to it making sense of wrapping up. So the Miss Bonds, the Michael Haas's, the Rob 19s, the RELs, what are they seeing or hearing that makes them think that this should go on? Right? I could give you a dozen things that explain why the off ramp will and should be taken. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to clarify. Tal is saying that Channel 12 is connected to N12. That is their separate news site.
Okay, so it is lefty, right?
Same phrase was
go.
posted also on Ynet and Israel Ayom, Israel Today. I can
All
bring
right,
you both
Ynet is
screenshots.
now the golden standard, I think.
I said the same quote was posted in both sources. So when you're collecting intelligence, there are a few levels of that. So those are the unseens. Those are the intelligence levels that are posted to the public. And if you know how to look for them, you'll find them very easily, by the way. Those are the hints that are given to the public regarding to the intelligence we have with the situation. It was posted all over. So it was very hard to miss. It was posted, I think, in Ynet. Let me see. It was posted 7 minutes after the hit, so Ynet were actually the first ones to post it. So I don't know.
Okay, so does anybody have answers on if you're part of the group where you want to? I think the correct term is quote unquote finish them. Very simple. What are you seeing or hearing that leads you to believe that it's going to happen? And bonus question, what are you seeing or hearing that leads you to believe that it should happen? And that's where the answers are just mind-blowing. All right. I don't know who a lot of the hold on. Go ahead, whoever came off mute. Go ahead, say something before somebody else comes up.
I'm just saying, I don't know how. I speak to my neighbors. I speak to my people from my search and rescue team. I speak to people that work for the City Hall of Dimona, medics, surgeons that I work with, and everybody wants this over. So it's very surprising to me that people on the streets are saying, we want this shit over. We literally don't care if we'll have to do this again in 5 years. But people on TikTok are very different with their opinions. And I'm kind of a little bit flabbergasted, I guess, by the difference between TikTok and the opinions I hear in real life. And those are very different. And I
Well, I
cannot
think a
understand
perfect
why.
example is the people in Tehran that want regime change. People on TikTok say it's 94.6%. Meanwhile, reality, it's like 30%. So that definitely, there's definitely a correlation there. Francisco, let's see if you connect. You did not. Try again. Mr. Political, let's see if you connect. Nope. All right. Ukraine bound. All right, you guys are all fucked. None of you connected.
Crazy. How is it that we always connect, but these people don't?
To be fair, I think that they were in there a while.
That make a difference.
So I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Again, cautiously optimistic. I don't know that, things don't always go to plan, especially not here. And I mean, but I wouldn't, to be honest, I wouldn't be mad if Mossad in Russia went and got into the hospital of Mojtaba and took care of that. So
Okay.
that wouldn't be a problem, I don't think. I don't trust him.
Okay.
I trust him. They say he's more radical than his dad.
But what happens if this all wraps up and let me ask it this way. Do you think Trump would allow him to be the next in charge? Obviously, I think your answer is I would hope not, but go ahead.
Trump literally said he will pick anybody that will talk to him. If they had found common sense and they found a common thing that they can speak about and common agreements, he will not ask none of us. It's Trump we're talking
that's what
about.
I'm
We're not
saying.
talking about anybody else.
We can put all of our opinions on what we want, but like ultimately we're just like stupid little people, which is so fun. This is what makes it so hilarious to me, that the importance that like these little comment warriors or whatever, all these people put on our words to try to like, oh, what, this is what you believe? God forbid you have an opinion that's different than mine. It's like, babe, your opinion isn't going to do anything either, love. Just it's worth just as much as mine is. Absolutely nothing. We're just talking on TikTok. And like it's so crazy, but maybe
it's not
just
going to change if
right.
they disagree. Anything you say, you could say, today is Tuesday, and they're going to flip the fuck out. So just let it be. Just embrace it.
I'm what I'm highlighting is the fact is like do we all need to remember that like we're literally not decision makers. We don't sit at the table. We're throwing out our ideas and what we feel, and I think that everybody has the right to their opinion. Ultimately,
Right. Can I tell you what's different though?
What
is what happens in here? Everybody spends all day on fucking TikTok, and they go live to live to live, but they get triggered in here because it is a lot of common sense that goes against their
cognitive
beliefs.
dissonance. Yeah, they're
correct. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah.
Regarding the people that said we're gonna go to jail if we show the damages, blah blah blah. So I want to show you the real damage that happened in Demona. The full-blown thing. Actually, it's footage that I took. I don't know how well I can see it on my screen. But it's footage that I took from that day, standing on one of the rooftops. This is the damage to the Mona.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I can show even more footage.
Did a child fall? Not, I don't know if it was Dimona or Arad, but a child fell.
Rescue teams to come and help them out. But a lot of them were busy with the Mona. So what we did, we left the IDF to deal with the rest of the scene because the civilians and everybody was already evacuated from the buildings. First thing we do when a rocket earthquake hits, we start knocking on doors in the buildings that are still standing and screaming, is anybody here? Like it is in the house. And when we hear voices or neighbors coming telling us, hey, I didn't see my neighbor. So we break into apartments. Usually we'll find people. So when we arrived to Arad, it was like 11:30 at night. We arrived there an hour and a half after the thing. 2 buildings collapsed immediately as we arrived there because they were trapped in their houses, in their apartments. So when the building started collapsing, one of the kids actually flew from the fucking building, literally out.
God.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, Joey says, Dave, do you want to be in a photo with Howard Lutnick or something? Joey, what made you type that?
Howard Lutnick.
Joey, tell me, what the fuck made you type that? Can you answer me, please? Why would you type that? Sophie, nobody gives a fuck about Gaza. I mean, that's just the truth. Like, that is a given. Did Joey respond? What made you type that, sir?
That. Why is it? What is the importance of that person?
I just want to see the answer, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I remember one time a guy said that you're like the new Rush Limbaugh, and I remember you said, "Oh my God, that is so crazy," and I started laughing.
What? It was crazy.
I know, but it's funny. It just the way that you responded is so funny.
Yeah, I don't know. even when people come up and they're nice and they compliment me, I just okay, no problem, and just move on. I could care less about that. Joey, you did not. No. Oh, okay. Joey's saying up. Okay, I'm intrigued. You were not in the queue, Joey. Come on, Joey.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, very concerning what the hell is happening in the oil refinery. I can't believe you didn't see that in Texas. It's
No, I
it's
didn't
one of the
know.
4 largest oil refineries in the United States. It's very suspicious to me that it's
Bianca, I literally, okay, from 4 o'clock on, so we're going on 3 hours now. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, BBC, all have not even covered it. I don't even know what happened.
Oh my God. Well, maybe because they don't want to put mass freaking panic into the country.
Oh,
I think Iran did that
okay,
shit.
so wait, okay, here we go. So go ahead, tell me what the fuck happened?
Valero, like the gas station Valero, their
Yes,
oil refinery as we speak, maybe they've got it more calmed down, is up in flames. And it's one of the we have like 4 largest in the country. That's one of them.
right.
Yeah.
So how would they do that?
I don't know. The same way we have weirdos flying drones over U.S. Air Force or air bases. Have you not seen that?
I
seen
have
that?
not seen it. You have brought it up. Bianca, I am on social media from 11 p.m. on until I'm done with my live on TikTok. I'm not. I'm very rarely on like social media, but I do have the news on nonstop. Right?
Okay,
If I'm sitting
don't-
at my desk working, they haven't talked about the drones once. They haven't talked
Well,
about
of course not.
Valero.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Of course not. You can't trust the news. Project Mockingbird. You need to just go to directly Twitter. Listen, just do that. They're not going to talk
Okay.
about it. They have to wait for permission and shit to talk about it.
But I feel that if I go through your Twitter feed, my feeling, I have nothing to back it up, but my feeling is it's a bunch of rage bait feeds that are meant to get clicks and scare the fuck out of people.
What? No, it just tells me what the hell is happening, and a lot of people who explain it, and that's it. Rage bait. Oh my God. What do you think? I felt like Andrew Tate?
Wait, no, I'm not saying that. But let's face it, it doesn't matter what it is. It's designed to get a share or a like or a click. That's reality. So
But if it's videos,
go
oh my
ahead.
God, hold up, let me go. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna show. This is not designed. You can't make this up when the freaking one of the largest refineries in
I'm not
America.
talking about this particular
Or the
story.
drones.
I'm just talking about in general. No.
It's a national security issue.
Okay.
It's a
I'm
national
with you.
security
I'm with
issue
you.
if they report it on freaking MSNBC and CNN. You're not going to find out at least for another month, okay, that this is happening.
A month? So this motherfucker's going to burn for days or however long, and I'm not going to find out for a month?
The drones.
Oh, the drones. And
Yeah.
why would they tell us in a month?
Because they want to handle it before they tell the people. This happened.
Yeah, but the difference is, Bianca, remember the spy balloon? They covered that motherfucker. Everybody did nonstop.
Okay.
And they covered the drones in New Jersey when that was going on as well. Nonstop.
It was distraction from Sleepy Joe. That's what that shit was. That was the government.
Oh my God.
What do you mean? That's what they said. Trump said it.
Okay. To be fair, yes, you're right. Trump did say that. Tao says there are more options that I am not thinking about. Go
Okay,
ahead,
good. You're here. I'm gonna go get the pictures of the drones and shit. All right.
Can you screen record your TikTok feed? Like if you click on the right where it takes you home.
Mm-hmm.
Will you? I just want to see the different accounts that are followed.
Oh,
because
okay.
like you follow like me like CNN or Fox News, or is it all you know
Like alternative
non
media
yeah, is it
and
all
like
that?
yeah, majority of alternative media or like professors or like experts, a little bit of the crypto people, but not so they're the least reliable.
Oh, okay. You
They're the
don't
least
then
a
yeah,
lot
don't
of
worry about it.
journalists. I like opposition too because I like to see what the enemy is saying and what they're
Okay.
reporting. But I like the smart people.
Okay.
Like
Fair enough.
the yeah.
Okay. Tal, you said there are other options that we have not thought about. What are they?
Yeah. Hi, Dave. First of all,
Hi, Tal. How's everything?
uh, pretty normal right now.
Okay,
We
good.
we had to wake up at 4:30 at night, but from with an alarm, but now it's quiet.
Good.
So I'm not saying that's necessarily what would happen, because if you remember our conversation yesterday, I've said that for me, Trump is very unexpectable. And that's why that's a scenario that I read about, and I consider it as something that could be possible. From what I've heard since his statement, many people and many experts are very doubtful about the chances of actually complete an agreement, because of the people that we are against with the Iranian regime, and because of the conditions that right now, the conditions that Trump is suggesting that right now seems unreasonable for them to accept. And we're hearing also about in news about 50,000 American troopers that on the way to Iran, and that leads me to a scenario that it is possible that the U.S. military and Israel needs those days to, to complete the deployment of air defense system and interceptors. Delaying this strike will allow for us, the Arrow and the Patriot system to reorganize in preparation for the potential Iranian response. And that's
Sure.
something that it sounds to me very reasonable.
I agree.
And another scenario
I said,
yeah.
I just want to say that I said that Trump could use this week to build up the stock market a little bit, knowing what he's going to do, and it's going to crash, come next week. He could spend 5 days saying it's nothing but peace and then fuck them up all weekend. That is
Exactly.
possible. Yes.
Exactly.
So
That's what I'm
I agree
saying.
with you.
Because
Yes.
I'm thinking that Trump is very smart politically and in the media, and I think that he wants, and this possibility that he wants to be seen as someone who has everything he can for, in diplomatic options. And if there is no progress within those 5 days, he will be able to claim to the world that he has no choice but to employ devastating military forces on the Iranian. And that's something that seems to me like a very interesting possibility.
But
Can you
I will
expand
say
it?
this that, sure, just the only difference with, I think the next level of escalation is going to lead to so much escalation that it's going to be very hard to turn back, like to take an off ramp. Now, is it impossible? Of course not. Anything's possible. But if they're going to start going after their energy sources, they're going to respond in a very malicious way, and things are going to escalate, go from 0 to 100 very quickly.
So I guess we
So,
can, I
yeah,
guess we can agree that at the end of those 5 days, we gonna have like either of like a very extreme scenario, either that this will escalate as you just said now, or we're
right.
going to end it. Like it's not going to keep going like how it's going so far.
100%. 100% correct.
Well, you're right. That's one of the, but keep in mind there was always Trump always added on where let's say come Friday there's no deal. Well, we're gonna meet again on Monday, and so
Mm.
and until they're ready to actually make a deal, we have to keep bombing them. We have no choice. Okay, now is Trump going to go after the energy resources? No, not while they're talking, but But I agree. The most likely is come a week from today, it's either very bad or pretty much wrapping up. But go ahead,
So
Bianca.
do you?
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry, Dan.
good. No, well, let Tal make his
Just
point. Go ahead, Tal.
one question.
Sure.
Do you know if the information about the 50,000 troopers coming to Iran is verified?
Not 50.
I
There's 8,000 on their way currently that we know
Oh,
of.
I saw 50,000.
Oh, no.
And whatever it is, I think it's smart to keep bringing resources out, whether it's ships, troops, it does not matter, because where we sit right now, it might be we're on the possibly heading towards an off ramp, but there is a chance at any second that shit could escalate very quickly. And just keep in mind, the number one thing that Trump has to accomplish before he does call it quits is opening back up the strait.
Yeah.
So that's the number one thing. And that's what I think those troops would be used for if we need it. But go ahead, Bianca.
Okay, so lies I tell, look at ABC News did actually talk about the drones. There are military drones swarming over our nuclear Air Force command base. Problem. And it's a freaking state actor.
Wait, can you read the part where it says about a state actor? I can't see that. I'm blind
Okay,
as fuck.
I'll read the whole tweet. Mystery drones swarm military base in Louisiana. Air Force is not able to stop them. Multiple waves of 12 to 15 drones flew for a week over sensitive areas of Barksdale, AFB, home of the United States Air Force Nuclear Command. Officials say the sophisticated drones are indicative of a state actor and incursions are expected to continue. We cannot stop them, and they're continuing. This is from 3 days ago. It's continued, by the way. So I'm tired of this bullshit of conspiracies because I look at alternative news or that focus on the things that are just swept under the rug to not put Americans into fucking panic. But this is a problem, okay? And let me just show you number 2 so you understand. This is Texas right now. But why is nobody talking about it? No clue. Maybe it's too early in the morning. No clue. Port Arthur, Texas, Valero Refinery. It's one of the largest refineries on the Gulf Coast with roughly 335,000 barrels per day. This is American gas under attack. American gas. What's going on in the South?
Okay, fair. I agree. But has anybody come out from the governor to the mayor to anybody and say how it started?
Nope.
That
I
is
haven't seen
scary.
nothing. And the fact that our nuclear command, okay, is there drones flying over? And how do people? Nobody has ever answered me this. Okay, how did people, 2 men, get inside an Air Force base and steal our military drones? How do we not know
But
that
I
those
have
drones?
I have never heard that story either. Nobody has
Oh my
ever
God!
talked
2
about
seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be
Okay,
there.
no, Bianca, I'm not saying you're wrong or lying. I'm just saying what I have on the TV nonstop news-wise is Fox News, CNN, BBC, MSNBC. I've never heard them talk about it.
Well, problem.
Okay.
They're only giving it, a 1 minute segment in prime time when our Air Force on the homeland can't stop drones flying over our nuclear command center. That's a problem. And let me go I will get the article now about the thing. Hold up.
You can't just watch TV media. I agree. However, I feel that the alternate media they cover a lot of shit that does not turn out to be that important. Now, it might start off on alternate news, and then mainstream picks it up. That's just my opinion, and I feel that if I were to scroll through the alternate media Twitter feeds or whatever, I would see a lot of shit that would scare the fuck out of me. But the end result is it really doesn't mean much.
Don't you see it fascinating, Dave, that Trump himself not even willing to say who is the person in the Iranian regime that they actually having those so-called conversation with? And what I'm seeing from the report that I've read, that it's driving the Iranian regime crazy, because they trying to find about it by themselves, like who is actually talking with America, because the new gay Ayatollah doesn't even know about it.
Right.
Ayatollah, the Gayatollah.
Yeah.
But how the way Trump answered the question, because the first question was, are you talking to somebody? Yes. Second question, do you know who it is? Yes, of course. Can you tell us who it is? No. And then the last question was, why not? And he says, I don't want them murdered. So in my mind,
I
Go
think
ahead.
he's playing. I think he's
Chance.
manipulating them. I think he's manipulating them very wisely, as he. I just, I'm watching his tweets and I'm reading it, and that's exactly the style of him that I can actually assume that it's very possible that he's just playing mind games with them.
Can you expand me,
Yeah.
Dave? I want to know how
go
these two mother effers were able to walk onto a base and steal 4 drones. This is the release from Fort Campbell. So they stole it in Kentucky. Very interesting to me how the weird drones are flying over Louisiana, because I believe they share a border. Very weird. Okay. And they stole 4 drones.
Okay. I agree with the thought process. It just, I don't know if I should be worried that CNN, MSNBC, etc. are not covering it.
Why? You have to know what
What?
Operation Mockingbird is. Well, I think once you learn what Operation Mockingbird is, then it will never surprise you. Nothing will surprise you from the media.
Okay, what is the summary?
So basically, in the beginnings of like the 3-letter agencies in the United States, they started, and this is proven through federal records, that they basically were using the news and stuff to kind of control the American public, to propagandize them, in short. And that our news and stuff is filled with agents of these 3-letter agencies.
But I take it as every news organization here, at least, they're either Team Red or Team Blue to
Yeah, it's on
deliver
purpose.
the news. Wait, what?
It's on purpose.
Okay, but they're going to deliver the news to make their side look the best. Right? I'm sure it's the same. Go ahead.
But look at, for example, look what happened during COVID. Do you remember that video that they made a compilation of every news agency, no matter if they were more right-leaning or left-leaning, saying the same thing, and they were all given a script? So
to be fair, that was all. I know what you're talking about, where that was local TV stations, and they were all left.
I don't know. Fox isn't left.
Yeah, but it was Fox channels that were on there.
Also, yeah, it was both sides of the thing. It's all an illusion, to be honest. It's some favor some side, some favor the other, but ultimately it's all the same goal. They're all controlled by the same I mean, well, now we're gonna go into conspiracy, Dave.
Here we
Are you
fucking
ready
go.
for that?
Okay, so who? Murdoch owns Fox News, CNN, MSNBC was owned by Comcast. So you're
Yeah.
saying that
They're all
there's
the
a
elite.
oh hell yeah. So you're saying
Yeah.
that all
Listen, Dave, am I
the
wrong? Usually, I'm not wrong. I'm crazy, but I'm not wrong.
yeah, but there are things that you have said that I cannot prove that you're right or wrong.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay,
I'm not
so
wrong.
I
Yeah.
mean, okay, fair enough. But so you're saying, let's just take the farthest right is Fox News, farthest left is MSNBC. You're saying there's people above them, above Murdoch and whoever owns Comcast now. You're saying there's people above them giving them a script on what to deliver.
No, yeah, basically, listen,
Oh my
they all
god.
these people worship the devil. They're
Oh my
Luciferians.
god.
They have part of secret societies, and they all have the same agenda. And they all get a script, and it's the New World Order, and it's mind control.
Okay, so whenever, and I'm thinking of just they're impeaching Trump, and you're saying somebody gives a script to both sides where they deliver opposite takes
Yes.
on what happened that day.
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
It's a well, they
So
don't have to be given scripts
okay.
at this point. It's a well-oiled system.
Okay. So why am I to think that Rachel Maddow's job every Monday night is to make Trump look bad, and Hannity's job is to make Trump look good? That they don't need a script. They don't. There's nobody above Murdoch and whoever owns Comcast.
Well, no, they know their
that's what their
place.
viewers.
They know their look
Okay.
at, for example, let's look at Tucker Carlson, okay? Let's look at
Oh
the
no.
way that the Islamic media is now, or the Islamic influence is entering into the American space, okay? They're infiltrating the conservative movement. They are funding and paying for these podcasters. Tucker Carlson is literally now speaking favorably about Islam and Islamic countries. Where is that coming from? Is he given a script? No, he's just given lots and lots of money so that he can do what he's supposed to do.
Okay. That part I'm with you on.
Then why
That
isn't it started at the top? It started in the beginning with the 3-letter agencies. Who created our 3-letter agencies? Nazis. You know that the United States made a deal with the Nazis to bring them over because they wanted to learn how they were able to be so organized. And so they did. It's called Operation Paperclip. This is also government records. And they were the ones who taught this 3-letter agency, or created the 3-letter agencies, and then taught them how to propagandize the public. So I don't like mainstream media. Like, I'll use it because people like it, but I don't necessarily, it's not a hill I'm going to die on.
But to me, I find CNN, as much as they hate Donald Trump, they cover wars like no other. They have more people on the ground. They are everywhere compared to everybody else. So I trust CNN more than a random Twitter account. That's been my problem.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not a problem. It's okay. People, because it's considered credible. And it is. They're not going to say lies, right? For the
Oh
most
no, they
part.
do lie. They do lie.
Yeah, but for
But
the
yeah,
most
no,
part,
okay,
when it
right,
comes to like
okay.
bringing evidence and proof, and people trust them more than they trust alternative news. I don't just like trust any random Twitter account. Obviously, I know that there are things that are full of shit, and I'm educated enough to know how to vet information, use critical thinking skills, saying, oh, that sounds like it's shit. But what I'm saying is that these news agencies have a history, a bad one. Right. This is why we shouldn't really put all of our eggs in their baskets, is the point that I'm trying to make, which is why you're not going to be hearing about things like, they're not going to be blaring from the radio that our nuclear command centers in the South have drones flying over them that they can't stop, and that they believe it's a state actor. That's
Jay
what
Rich
crazy.
says I'm out. This is giving off school shooter vibes. That's not very nice.
Okay. Anyways, I'll go. Let me get. Hold up. I'll be right back.
Well, that to be fair, that could have been not necessarily about you, just because I'm talking about it as well. Omer enjoyed that comment.
Dave,
Omer,
thanks
why are you
to
such a hater, Omer? Well, go ahead, Tal.
so to finalize the point I've made before
Sure.
regarding to Trump manipulation, as I see it, as something very possible. Not only that he not willing to expose who is this source and the Iranian regime that he's actually the US actually talking with. Not only the Iranian are denying that. We don't even know that even if that source will have the capability to the regime to go after him, or to the Iranian military to go after him and listen to him and apply to him regarding to any kind of a deal or agreement that could be possible. And not only that, you said before that Trump said that he's kind of have fears that if he will expose it, so he will get unalived. By who? By Israel? We all know that including the Ayatollah, the previous Ayatollah, or any head of the Iranian regime that we destroyed, someone intelligent can tell me that Trump didn't know about it from advance? Of course he did. So I don't think Israel will do anything that Trump will not approve. And the only time that they did something and they bombed the oil fields, Trump gave them his opinion about it. And I don't see Israel doing something like that. And that's why his explanation to this seemed to me very unreasonable. And that's why I think it's a pure manipulation.
Right. Whenever he answered the question, I'm not going to tell you, that was implying either A, he's worried Israel is going to take him out, or B, he's full of shit. He's really not talking to anybody. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this is like a quick summary, but then I have the actual government declassified records. So it talks about how Operation Mockingbird was, commonly referred to as it's cut off anyways. CIA's involvement in journalism in the 1970s. The CIA basically admitted that they want to manipulate the mainstream media, and that they were paying people, blah, 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 blah. I just want to bring this because some people.
But Bianca, I believe you. Who cares?
These are the declassified records from FordLibraryMuseum.gov. No, because when stupid people can't I just love when stupid people are proven wrong. It just gives me something. I'm sorry.
Okay, Hal, and Tal, you were talking about this a little bit, but Ynet reported that Bianca, can you tell me why that the new Ayatollah?
Hallie,
go ahead.
I don't know. Work on your prostitution. You go back to that, babe, because you obviously have a problem with listening and reading comprehension.
Wait, how do you know she's a prostitute?
Lucky guess. So here's the deal. Israeli news media said it, not me, my love. Israeli news. So maybe learn some Hebrew or learn how to look up Hebrew sources. Ynet in English is Yediot Achronot, is the one who reported this, not me. Bianca is just saying what the news says.
Omer is such a troll. Omer has never tagged Hallie before, but all of a sudden she's sending her hearts. Ynet is not lefty. Tao agreed with that.
This is, again.
No. Lefty is Haaretz, for example. That's a very...
I would never.
That's a very lefty source. Ynet is just critical to the government. So that's a situation that became in Israel. That every media source that criticizing the government automatically they coloring it in a lefty label.
Okay, Omer, why do you hate Bianca so much?
Cares? She's nobody. I'm
I
never
no,
meeting her.
I just why
I'll
did
tell you
it
why.
start this way? Is it
I'll tell you
Asher? Is
why.
it Asher? Yes.
Because she doesn't speak their narrative. She's not following the orders. She's saying what on her mind, and she's
No,
honest.
Bianca. Why don't you like Bianca? Sorry, Tao. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying she's just honest with her opinions. And I told Bianca that although myself, I don't agree with her some of the times regarding to her opinions, I appreciate that she is very stubborn to say it, even though it's not very popular all the time. So for some people, it's very difficult here on this app to listen to different opinions.
Yeah, but Omer, my problem.
Like Omer, for example.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My problem with Omer is she leg humps certain people, and I know for a fact she cannot agree with everything that these people say or do, right? But anything Bianca says, it does not matter if it's today is Tuesday. You fucking look for any chance to rip her. Miss Blonde, to be fair, is like that as well. Wait,
I love getting people upset. I love that you give me power and control over the shit that you write, or being upset over my opinions as if I'm somebody. Can you that just, I think, just says a lot about me.
I told you it's just opinions, and I just don't understand the basics of politics. Politics is the fact that we will have many opinions, and all of them, even if you don't like them, they're accepted. So I just don't get people jumping on people's necks because, oh my God, they have an opinion that is not that doesn't sit with your opinion. It's just stupid. Sorry, but it's stupid.
People need to grow up. It's just an app.
In a way, I got used to it. And during the Gaza war, when I advocating for the hostages, and I advocate for ceasefire agreements because I wanted the hostages at home. So automatically, I got responded like that, and that's why I said to Bianca that I can really understand that feeling, because I was called a lefty, I was called a Hamas spokesman, I was called many other names as someone that actually personally been damaged from this war personally. And even if I won't, even if I wouldn't, I don't know why the fact that I want the hostages home is any kind of excuse to call me those names. But
yeah. Imagine to preserve life. That means you support Hamas.
Just imagine that all of us will finally agree on one thing. Just imagine.
all right. Just hold on, Mark. Where are you from, Mark?
in California.
All right.
So we just came across your little puppets, right, about Trump and all that. So I found it amusing. So I seen you were live, and I just wanted to come in here and see what you guys were talking about.
All right. Very good. Thanks for showing up, bro. You dumb fuck. Jersey. Jersey, do you want to talk? Going once, going twice, gone.
That guy come up and open the camera to a picture of himself? Or was that the video that was lagging?
I don't know, Bianca.
Oh, that was old school. That's some old school stuff right there.
Okay. Whoever was in the queue, I tried to. IBN is connecting. IBN, what do you got?
Hi everyone. I hear you complaining about the war in Iran.
Who's complaining?
You want ceasefire? You want America not to send troops? How come? It's strange.
Okay.
You are part of a movement, Islamophobic, fascist. You want the Holocaust to the Muslims in Michigan. You part of
Yeah,
MAGA.
that's America. I'll worry. We could worry about America. Let's start with Dearborn, and then we could work our way east to New York City.
I mean,
Okay.
when someone come up here and said we have to do something about it, he want a Holocaust to the Muslims, the American citizen in the state. This war against Iran is not a threat to Israel or America. It's just because it's Muslim state, you attack them, you destroy their army because you are fascist and Nazis.
Well, maybe don't chant death to America.
I didn't chant death to
Maybe
America.
start there. Maybe the next guy could
I'm
not
Arab.
do that.
I offer peace to Israel, but Israel doesn't want peace. I offer them to go back to the border of 1967. They don't want. I want the Haish group in Gaza be destroyed. They didn't destroy them. They kept them there. I don't know why. I don't believe it. I don't believe Israel cannot go to Gaza and finish them off. The proxy in Iran, they destroyed Lebanon. They want to keep the hostility. They want to keep this war so they can win the election in Israel. The far right.
But to me, wait, what doesn't make sense, at least from my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The war kicked off. Nothing was happening from Lebanon for a couple days, and then they decided to weigh in, and Israel went over there and fucked them up. If they would have sat there, hold on, IBN.
Yeah.
If they would have sat there like good little boys, okay, they would not be getting fucked up today.
I agree.
Where am I
because
wrong?
I agree because this missile they
Okay.
send them from Lebanon to Israel, it doesn't do any damage. That you're not fighting Israel. You're not hurting Israel. You're hurting Lebanon because this group is being supported by Iran. It should be destroyed in Lebanon, and the Lebanese should do something about it. If Lebanon want to go to war, they have state, they have army, they go to war. This militia
So
is hurting.
why aren't they? Why aren't
the
they?
Haitian group? But I don't know. It's a big game. I have no idea if the Iranian, just because they want to support the Haitian group in Gaza and Lebanon, they destroyed their state. I mean, they have nothing. Iran. Kuwait, a small country next door to them. They have 500 F-15 and F-16. They can destroy. They can finish Iran up. They can mess up. They will destroy Kuwait. Will destroy Iran. That's how weak they are, the Iranians. They have the
but
missile.
I want to come back to you criticizing about me saying that Trump has to get out. What is wrong with that?
Because
this
you're part
war.
Because you are in
part-
Crusaders, you have Islamophobic. The Islam is your problem. The Muslim community in the state is your problem. And
okay,
then
sure.
You are in Crusaders. You go in there, weak country like Iran. You bomb them, you destroy them, you make them failed state like Iraq, like Syria, like all half the Arab countries. That's what your plan. Why are you complaining?
But let me explain. I think Islam is a threat, but a bigger threat right now in America is the Democratic Party. And the longer this war goes on, the more likely a Democrat wins in 2028. So that's why I am.
You scared because you know
scared of
the
what?
American.
What am I scared of?
Because the American citizen, they're not fascist. They're not Nazi like you. You are a fascist, and you should be proud of that.
You're not responding to what I said as per usual with you.
You worried if the Democrat are going to win the election because you know the American, they're not fascists like you. You should be proud of who you are. Your movement is a fascist movement. Is like Germany 1939.
How so? Elaborate.
Absolutely. When that citizen got shot in Minneapolis, I told you how come the people they kill him in the street doesn't go to court You absolutely you defend the killers because you are a fascist.
No,
When
no.
it's
I'm so sorry. Hold on, IBN. Let me respond. If police or law enforcement is they're conducting an investigation, stay the fuck away and you stay alive. That's simple. Very simple.
the whole movement, the whole MAGA movement, you and what his name, that crazy guy, Elon Musk, and he give Nazi salute. Stephen Miller, he give a speak, Nazi speak. And how come, I don't know how, what's happened to the Jew? They became fascists and Nazis. That's the Islamophobia that you suffer. And you are a fascist, and you should be proud of that. You went to
Well,
Iran
let me
to this.
explain. To me, I think the Democrats can fuck up this country policy wise, but let's face it, if somebody put on a suicide vest or took their car and ran over innocent people, that would be somebody from your religion, right? So
Yeah,
they're both
I agree.
dangerous.
I take the
Okay.
blame. I take responsibility of the violence that we do. But you're not helping because the Arabs, they want to do peace with Israel. They want to go back to the border of 1967. You're not helping us. You don't you are in a crusaders. You have Islamophobia in your head. You have problem. That's it. Why you complaining now? You you
Well,
you, you why you
are
complaining?
you
Why you want ceasefire
are
for?
you here bitching and moaning that the are you okay with the Ayatollah being taken out?
Of course, I'm happy. Of course,
Okay,
he's a
so
black
at
man.
what at what point during this war have you said it's wrong?
In the first place, is wrong. The reasons you
Well,
are
you just
there.
said it
Look,
was a good thing that that motherfucker is in hell.
he's bad. You're not there to help Iranian people. You're there to destroy the state. You destroyed the
Well,
Iranian
no, to be
army.
fair, I would like us to get some oil and keep it away from China if you're
That's
taking
different.
the flag.
That's different thing. That's a different plan. But you are crusaders. You have problem with the Muslims and the Islam. That's it. That you in or out.
I mean, let's
That's
be
it.
100% honest. Why would the rest of the world not have a problem with a religion that is responsible for all the terrorist attacks throughout the world?
Oh, you have problem with the Democrat, with the Mexicans. You have problem with
Well, that's the threat
because
here. That's the threat here, right? If God forbid the Muslim population ever creeped over 10%, we might be fucked.
how
Okay, but
I have a problem
but
with the Mexicans.
hold on one second. Just coming full
even
circle. Hold on,
even
IBN.
even in Europe, you
Electing
cursing the British because
electing
they're
a
having 5%
Democrat electing a Democrat would speed up the process of getting that number to 10%. And then our country is fucked.
How is fact? How? Because you are fascist, you think like that. Because you are
No,
Nazi, that's why
absolutely
you
not.
think like that.
Tell me a place where the
What's the danger having 10% of the American Muslim people? Because you are
prove
fascist.
prove
Because
me
you are
wrong,
Nazi.
IBN.
That's how the
Tell
Nazi.
me
That's how the
name.
Nazi thought about the Jew in 1930s.
Okay, so
If you have
name a city, state, country where the Muslim population went from less than 2% to over 8% that is thriving today.
London is thriving.
London is.
What?
Are you
They're
fucking
about to
with
kick
me? Are you
everybody
No,
out.
fucking with me, IBN?
you attacking New York because they have mayor, Muslim mayor. You attacking London because they
I'm not
have
attacking.
mayor.
What do you mean
London is
attacking New
perfect.
York? What the fuck
London
are
is
you
better
talking
than
about? I'm not attacking
your
anybody.
country. London is thriving. France, they have 7 or 8% Muslim. They're thriving. They're perfect and they
Wait,
live in peace. And
why is it
that's
when?
it.
Wait, why is it whenever we looked at every single? I think they're called boroughs. Correct me if I'm wrong. We looked at every fucking borough crime wise, comparing to before Sadiq Khan to during, and crime went up in every category in every borough. So get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
No. You should go. You should go to. Look, I will buy you a ticket. Come to Morocco. Come to Dubai. Come to Tunisia. Come. I will buy you a ticket.
Ibn, what is fascism?
You welcome,
No.
brother. So you can take this Islamophobia from your head. Because Muslims,
No, if it was a hot blonde, I'd think about it.
99% want to live in peace like you, like anyone else.
Ibn, what is
Muslim
fascism? Ibn, what is fascism? Can you explain it to me?
Fascism. What you do? What's fascism? Fascism. What you are now?
It's his word of the day.
What is it? What does it mean? Explain.
Fascism. You wanna have a Holocaust and kill people based on religions and race.
What is fascism? Can you just give me the definition?
It's his word of the day. He heard it on the TV.
Nazi, no, not hear it. Nazi and fascism. What's happening in MAGA with Stephen Miller is a fascist. Elon Musk
You've
is
never
a fascist
mentioned
and Nazi.
Stephen Miller before. I feel you've been doing research.
No, not research, but because it's not my first language, English language. But Elon Musk is a
I
fascist.
know, but you've never brought Stephen Miller up before.
He's. I hear he speak in the funeral of Charlie Kirk. He's absolutely Nazi. He give white supremacists, Nazi.
So,
fascist,
do you think
He's an American hero.
the opposition is suppressed in America?
Not opposition. You even
No, but that's
attacking-
fascism. For order for it to be fascism, the opposition would need to be oppressed, and we would be needing to live in a dictatorship. That's not happening. There are still protests in the streets. There's still crazy ass people. Like, what are you talking about? The Dearborn, Michigan is still like a Muslim country by itself. What are you talking
Garbage,
about?
trash.
If they start a Holocaust against Muslim people in America, you will support it. Like you supported killing
No.
70,000 civilians in
Never.
Gaza. You will support
No,
it. You
we
are
just
fascist.
can't hit 10%.
You want
Whatever
the
we have to
Holocaust-
do
you want
to
the
make sure we
Holocaust
don't hit
for the
10%,
Muslim
I'm okay.
community in the state. You will support it.
Yeah.
Like you
But
support,
why is it-
like even I'm here in your life and you told me you got only body bags. Do you know how evil it is to say that?
Booty bags?
Do you see your face in the mirror?
I do.
Is this fascist or not fascism? This is Nazi
No,
or not
that's
Nazi?
reality. That's reality. The
That's
dumbasses
that's,
over there.
Be proud of
Hold
you
on,
are.
let me
So why you
explain.
complaining? Why you complaining
The
about
dumbasses
the war in
over
Iraq?
there started a war they could not win.
The
All right,
civilians
and
start,
now
the innocent
Now it's
civilians
rubble,
start the
tents,
war.
and body bags.
How many civilians die in the war between Ukraine and
Oh,
Russia?
I don't know. Throw a
Not
number
even-
or
not
throw
even-
a dart
not
at a
even
dartboard just
1,000.
like the rest of
Not
you.
even
And pick a
1,000.
number. Pick a number.
Not even 1,000. Pick it how many? 1,000, 2,000? You kill 70,000
offense.
civilians.
Do you own a
Right.
daycare
Okay.
or a
That's-
hospital
that's-
center by any chance?
Because,
I
even
don't-
Haish group, who fund the Haish group in Gaza? Who
What,
give them
Dave?
money? Who give them weapon?
But
It's you,
IBN,
state, your state,
IBN,
Israel
I
doing
don't-
that.
no offense. Nobody gives a fuck about Gaza.
No, you fascist, racist, Nazi. Be proud
Sure,
of
call
who
me
you
whatever
are.
you
That's
want,
it.
but nobody cares about
That's
Gaza.
it. That's it.
Right. Okay,
American
no
people,
problem.
they're not like you. Even Jewish people in New York, they voted for Mamdani. They're not fascist
Okay,
and racist like you.
Well, then
That's
they'll
your
deal with
movement.
it,
That's
right?
your
That's
MAGA
their city.
movement. That's who you are. Be proud of who you are.
Mamdani has nothing to do with my city, so he can only do so much damage there, and everybody will see. No big
It's
deal.
perfect. There is perfect New York. London is perfect. Muslim
London is
communities,
perfect.
they thrive and then they live.
But
and they're happy.
why is Starmer
And-
backtracking on his open borders then? Why is he doing that? Why has he changed his tone in regards to allowing anybody in?
Yeah, are they deporting?
Why? Because you guys had Muslim rape gangs, right? Maybe because crime has gone up in every category where in London. Like, wake the fuck up.
I wish I go to London, but they're happy. They're better than your America, and they are safer, and they're thriving, and it's perfect city, and everybody loves to go to London, and it's perfect. And they have, I don't know, they have 1 million.
Why is there
white
tourism
age.
down then?
What's that?
Their tourism for London.
Yeah, they're perfect. That is perfect, bro.
Right,
It's
but
like-
tourism
it's
is
like-
down.
it's
Why?
rich
Because they
rich
know it's
city,
a
and they
dumpster
happy.
fire there. a
and
lot
they
of
happy
trash
there.
in London. And who wants to go there? It's a bunch of trash,
Trash. You should go there. I
garbage.
wish I can go there. I wish I can go. I haven't been there,
Okay,
but
well
from what I
you could
hear,
meet up with Bambi.
Bambi, I'll go there. I'll go there. I'll go to visit
Okay,
Bambi. No,
yeah, sure.
they have free
Take her
healthcare.
out for some fish and
You
chips and have a
hate
ball. I
London
don't give a fuck.
because people live in peace. You don't want the people to live in peace. You want
Then
because you
why
are
are
fascist.
violent crimes up? That's not peaceful.
You
Why are
attack
violent
London
crimes
because
up? That's not peaceful, dumbass.
but it's peaceful. It's peaceful. Peaceful. It's peaceful. Of course, they
Violent
have
crimes
crime,
are
but
not peaceful.
it's peaceful. There is perfect London. It's perfect. That's why you
Perfect.
hate
You're
it.
full of
You
Not
shit,
hate New
IBN.
York.
perfect.
You don't even
You
believe
hate
the
New York
bullshit that's coming
because
out
the
of your mouth.
Muslim and the Jew and the Christian they live in peace in London. That's why you hate it. You hate New
Right.
York because
Right.
people,
Because the news
Muslims
came
and
out yesterday that
Jews
somebody
live in peace.
set on
You
fire
hate that.
4
You hate
ambulances that
my
belong
neighbor
to
in
what's
Tunisia
it
is
called?
Jewish and
The
I live in peace
Jewish
with them. You
service.
hate that
Bianca.
because you are fascist. You
Wait,
are
what do I
Nazis.
hate?
Hear what you said. What did you ask me, Dave?
My neighbor. I'm from Jerba. We have 2,000 Jewish community in Jerba in the island, and I live in peace with them. You hate that, brother. You don't like people to live in peace and
I
harmony.
don't give
You don't
two
like people
flying
to try.
fucks. Reality is
What did you ask me,
IBN.
Dave?
It
You
doesn't matter.
put
Forget it.
hate.
It doesn't matter.
We do.
IBN. Be
We
honest.
plant flower.
IBN.
You plant bomb, hate and shit like that. And this is
Well,
not good.
bombs more your thing, flowers more my thing. But if in your neighborhood you saw Jewish person after Jewish person move in versus nonstop Muslims, what would you be more concerned about?
What the Muslim Jewish community in Tunisia? You're talking about
Would you
Tunisia?
rather
Are you scared of them?
would would you rather
I'm not
have
scared of
20,000?
them.
Hold on.
They've been here before for 2,000 years since the demolition of the 2,000 years ago, and they moved to Jerba and they're proper Jew and then one of the nicest people I've met in my life. And I love them because why? Because they're waiting for the Messiah to go back to Israel. They don't want to go back to Israel right now. They're religious stuff like that.
Tremendous.
But one of the
Right.
nicest people are the Jewish
Of
community
course.
in Tunisia, and they live in peace.
Sure.
And I live in peace with
They
them. You
are
hate that.
peaceful.
You hate
They
that.
live in peace everywhere. They live in peace everywhere. However,
They
Muslims
live in
throughout the
peace in
world
Arab and Muslim
are
countries,
killing their
and they are
own.
happy
They're
here.
killing
And
Jews. They're killing
we have
Christians. They're killing anybody.
We have Minister of Tourism. He's a Jew man. You hate that. You don't like to see Muslims and Jews
He's a
live
Jew
in peace.
man.
That's what you like.
Right.
You are because you are fascist and Nazis. And be proud of who you are. Be proud.
Right. But there's only one group of people that are putting on suicide vests. Right? And it's not the Jews.
99% of these fucking terrorists are Muslims, brother. We have problem with them.
Okay.
You know?
All right,
Yeah, we
very
have
good.
problem. We do have problem. That's it.
Okay, great. So we agree.
But when the Arabs that they want to have peace with Israel and they started Oslo agreement and Israel don't want to sign the peace, they want to do that, they want to. That's it. That's why they support them. That's why the Haitian group in Gaza they want to keep them there.
Stop with the peace bullshit. We don't know that so many Jews escaped from Tunisia to Israel because they got unalived by Muslim over there. And
You lie.
I'm lying. I'm lying.
I live.
Yeah.
My neighbor.
That's what
What was
happened.
the
That's what happened
Farhud?
in your country back then.
You
That's what happened in your
liar.
country back
Even
then.
the Jews, they
You
live
just
in
want to
Iran
change the
and peace.
history.
You are
You just
Iranian.
want to
You
change
are
the
Iranian.
history.
You brainwash it. There is 50,000 Jews
You're
live
not
in Iran, in
peaceful.
Tehran, right now,
Neither
and
of
they
your
live in peace.
countries are
You don't
peaceful.
like
You're just
that.
looking for war all the
50,000 Jews
time.
live in
All the
Iran and they
time.
live in peace. They live in
You
peace.
looking to
They
during
left.
history. You looked
They
to
left.
fight with Jews
Because
all
they
the
have a
time.
state.
That's
they went back
your
to their
character.
promised land.
That's your nature.
Tunisia was the only country that was occupied by actual Nazis, first of all. Also, in 1948, you guys expelled over 100,000 Jews. What are you talking about?
They left. We didn't expel them. We are under
No, they were
occupation.
expelled. Yalla, yalla, bye.
We
They
are
didn't want to
under
go live in Mavarot.
we
Yeah, they
we
were
are under
rich.
occupation.
Liar.
They left by themselves. Even many
No.
Tunisians
No,
moved to
you guys
France.
had Nazis. You had
How we
Nazis in your
expelled them?
country.
1948. We are under occupation.
You
with the
had
French,
Nazis in your
is
country. The
under
only North
French
African
rule,
country that hosted the Nazis.
1948. You
Yada
don't,
yada
you
bye,
don't, you,
liar.
you hate to see Muslims and Jews
Liar.
live in peace. In
No,
Israel,
Muslims hate
you
to
got
see
2
Jews and
million, you
Muslims
got 2
together.
million, you got
Muslims
2
hate to see
million
Jews and Muslims,
Palestinians.
not anybody else.
You got 2 millions Israeli. They have Israeli passports. You
Do
hate
you
to
know
live
how?
to see them live in peace.
Do you know how people in Gaza calling to Arab Israelis that want to be part of this country? They call them Jesus,
The
traitors.
Jesus, the Jesus, them
That's how
Muslims,
they
them
calling
Muslims,
to
them Muslims, them
Muslims that
Muslims.
want to
They
live
are
in peace with
Arabs,
Jews here in
Muslims,
Israel.
Israeli citizen. They
Yeah,
are
stop
Arab,
with your
Muslim,
bullshit.
Israeli citizen, and they live in peace with the Jew there. You hate to see.
All right, IBN got reported, and I have a call starting in 11 minutes, so I'm done with this live. I appreciate you all, and I love you all, and everybody, regardless of what side you're on, you should be embracing a ceasefire, peace talks, whatever you want to call it, that Donald Trump is going to do. Stop listening to mainstream media. Too funny. All right. W. Halley. Too funny. Host is clearly scared now. Scared of what? What am I afraid of? Who said that? Who said that? Sophie, tell me what I'm afraid of, please. Trump will not be able to end this. No, I'm confident he will. Too much shit can go wrong. Gaslighting. Do you think it's gaslighting to... See, Omer, this is where you lose me. I'm all about your trolling. But do you think it's gaslighting to talk about obvious facts? Is that gaslighting? It is very obvious that the longer this war goes on, the more it can hurt Republicans in 2028. There's no doubt about that it is true. If you want to be a dumb fuck and say, well, 88% of MAGA, no, I'm not worried about MAGA. I'm worried about the independent voters that decide every national election in this country. So don't be a dumb fuck, you dumb fuck. And that's not towards Omar. It's towards anybody that is using, the Trump approval numbers. Not what I'm worried about. So is it anti-Semitic to state what's best for America? No. Is it rage baiting to state obvious facts about what's best for the Republican Party? No. But that's how I know Omer and Miss Blonde and Daniela and Rob. Where the fuck is Rob, by the way? Where the fuck is Rob? Regardless, that's how I know. You know deep down you're losing this argument, right? You guys came in here for 24 straight days talking your shit and saying things that you had no facts to back it up. How many times did I ask somebody just very simple question? Can you quote anybody within the current administration that leads you to believe that you are right and I am wrong? I could give you a dozen examples on what points me in my direction. Give me something that the administration has said that backs you up. Nobody. Then, simple question: how does staying in this war benefit America? That's where the old, well, do you want a new kid in Chicago? Get the fuck out of here. And that's also another hint. You know that you're losing the argument when you have to fear monger, right? I have stats to back up that independent voters are against war in general. Okay, so I can present that as my evidence on why I am right and you're wrong. However, you have nothing to prove that a nuke is about to hit Chicago. You dumb fucks. But Omer, I enjoy your comments, especially when they're directed at me. I'm a bigger fan of that. But just know if your side, and I love D-Light, love her. Okay, but just look at that conversation I had with D-Light. Very simple, common sense questions. Every answer, not much common sense in return. What don't you see? And I know that even Omer listening to that conversation knows that. Right? That's why she was quiet at that point. When common sense questions are just thrown out there, why is it that the Omers, the Robs, the Miss Blondes, the Danielas, why do we struggle with it? Why can we not give an answer that makes sense? Why is that? Big G, I dare you to come up here. Triple Dog, dare you to come up here. Come on, Big G. Big G, why are you not? How are you going to say Dave is a coward and then you're not in the queue instantly? Why? Because you're on a lurk account. So who is the coward? Why are you afraid of the IRGC? That's your response? How does that make sense? Your side's argument is that I'm not afraid enough of them. You dumb fuck. The whole argument that your side is making is that I should be more afraid of them. That a nuke can be dropped in Chicago literally this morning. But your response to why you're not coming up here is that I'm afraid of them? Back to the drawing board for that one. Maybe get added in the Telegram group with Rob19, Michael Haas, Miss Blonde, Daniela. And then you could get your talking points. Okay, when you get pushed into a corner, just call the person anti-Semitic or pick a random phrase that the person said and say that's anti-Semitic. Because that's what has gone on here for the last month now. AKA the war room. Exactly. And it's not like this is the first morning that I'm running with the same questions. To be fair, the conversation with D was new. Right? So, Big G, or I forget what the fuck it was, but Big G, hold on, somebody's in my queue. Please be Big G. It is not. So, Big G, why are you not in the queue? How are you going to call somebody a coward, then me say, get the fuck up here? All right, so Big G, why are you not in the queue once again? How are you going to call somebody a coward and then not come up and talk? And then how are you going to use a talking point that is the exact opposite of the talking point the other people are using? Big D is in the queue. Big D, I'm not looking for Big D. I'm looking for Big G. You don't want to listen to facts, okay? So what is one fact that I haven't listened to? Not the drunk fuck from Canada, the biggest loser on this app, literally begging people to be on panels. Why? Because he's a drunk fuck, right? Every single person on this app despises him. Dumped by window. Dumped. Gone. Too funny. Begging for approval. Begging for friends. Drunk as fuck nonstop. It's entertaining. Entertaining. Begging. Well, listen, if the shoe fits, fucking wear it. I finally got you. No, Hamar. What you have is a broken heart because Window dumped your ass, right? She dumped you. You're done. Ryan, I'm not saying Ryan. What are you talking about? No, I'm not talking about Ryan at all. To be fair, Ryan even owns Hamar. That's the truth. That's a fact. So drunk, no clue what he's even typing. But getting back to the whole Team Daniela, Team Miss Blonde, Team, I guess, Big G, even though he is using a wrong talking point. Big G, I dare you to come up, Big G. Come on up. Why aren't you coming up? And J-Bug is in the queue. I'm kind of intrigued by this one.
Open the mouth. I think that's mine, sir. And he showed it to
Duval?
Gerald. Yeah, I think that's mine. I think I dropped it off over there by the portalet. What do you use this for? He said, oh, when the wallpaper bubble, like yours, he said he poked that and let the air go out. Yeah, that's the truth, bro. He said that.
What the fuck was that? Bombi, line one, please. First of all, was that his real account? At first, I thought he was playing like a clip of something. I have no clue what that was. Oh, you think that? Oh, okay, that could be it. All right, I gotta get on my call. I love you all. He's at work. Oh, okay. Somebody literally just said he's probably at work. All right, well, you guys figured it out. All right, I love you all. Behave. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. 1 a.m. That's the new time. Don't forget. Thank you, Crystal.